You're listening to Friday Night Soccer, live on WLR.
Thanks to Clem Jacob Hire, a true Waterford company.
And a very good evening and welcome to Richmond Park for the first game of the 2020 Irish League of Ireland Premier Division. It's great to be back in it for the third year running here in the Premier League. We're playing St Patrick's Athletic here in Richmond Park, and this proved to be a happy hunting ground, of course, for the Blues last season. We won on our two visits up here, which is fantastic. We also beat them on one occasion back in the RSC. But two completely different teams, it has to be said, compared to last season. And we can tell you straight away that no less than 8 Waterford players will be making their debuts tonight for the club. It really is an extraordinary turnaround of players, and the squad has been put together so quickly since Christmas. I'm joined in the commentary box by, of course, our own Gavin Whelan, and also by Billy Costin, our senior analyst. He'll be with us in a moment. It's nice to have you on board again, Gavin, of course, and it's all courtesy of Clem Jacob Hire, proud Waterford company.
Yeah, absolutely. Delighted to be here, Matt, tonight. A cracking atmosphere really building here in Richmond Park. As you say, it's one of those old traditional grounds. Great atmosphere, crowd really kind of in your face, and both sets of teams going through their warm-ups. A crisp but dry evening here in Dublin, and as you say, two new look squads. Really looking forward to this, and I suppose this stage of the season is always that bit of intrigue to see how the various teams can do, and really looking forward to this one. And as you say, great to have Clem Jacob Hire, of course, on board as well, proud sponsors of all of Waterford FC's coverage right throughout the season, and it's brilliant to have that local backing. So looking forward to another cracking season, Matt.
Yeah, very much so. So what we do straight away is give you the Waterford line-up, and we'll then speak with Billy Costin. He'll give us an idea of how they're going to line out. In goal, Brian Murphy, of course, making his debut for the club. Akin Uddy Mayo, he's making his debut. Tarek Wilson, of course, here from Manchester City, he's making his debut. Sam Bone, it looks like he'll be playing in the centre of defence. Andre Burley on loan from Reading, he's making his debut. Scott Allardyce, who played with Bohemians last season, he's making his debut. Ali Coote, he's on loan here from Brentford, he's also making his debut. And up front, wearing number 9, is Michael O'Connor, who's been named as the captain for tonight. Matty Smith, another player over from Scotland, he's making his debut. Kevin O'Connor, great to have him back on board again with the club following his stints with Cork City and Preston. And Robbie McCourt, he's also making his debut. So it's an interesting line-up, Billy Costin, to say the very, very least.
Yeah, this is the first time in a long time, I think, that we had an opening game of the season with so many new faces on board. But as you said yourself, where they're all going to play remains to be seen. And we spoke earlier that we think he's probably going to go with a 4-4-2 system.
Yeah, it's a surprise that you think Brian Murphy is starting in goal, because Ty Ryan did pretty well in the pre-season games.
He did, yeah. Well, of course, look at the amount of experience Brian is bringing to the team at this point in time. So, yeah, Ty, I suppose, will feel a little bit unlucky, but Alan has to make the call on that.
Yeah, Brian has the experience, which is great. And with so many new guys, 8 of them, well, it's a new team, let's face it, it's a completely new team, and someone like Brian would be absolutely vital, barking out the instructions in goal.
Well, I think confidence-wise, particularly at the back, like he'll have them organising, so much wealth of experience behind him. But when you look at the St Pat's side, then that's a whole new ball game as well, a lot of new faces on board. But one major signing, and I said it at the end of last season, Robbie Benson is a major plus. The 3 or 4 league medals with Dundalk, and he coming south to play with Pats. A big player for St Pat's.
And we met him coming in. We give you the starting 11 actually for St Pat's. Brendan Clark, goalkeeper. Rory Feely, Ian Birmingham, the captain. Lee Desmond, Jamie Lennon, Robbie Benson, Dara Markey, Martin Rennie, Luke McNally, Billy King, and Jay McLennan. It was strange to see when we're talking to him coming in, Rory Feely lining out for the opposition.
Yeah, I mean, he had so many outstanding games in the blue jersey, and strange to see it. But as we know ourselves, Matt, that's football. Players move on, when they're out of contract, that's the way it is. But yeah, Rory gave excellent service to Waterford when he was here.
Nice presentation being made on the field at the moment, Gavin. Kenny Brown, of course, who recently retired. He came back to the Blues, but he also won many honours here with St. Parky's Athletics, and he's getting a lovely standing ovation from both the Pats and the Waterford supporters.
Absolutely lovely to see, Matt. Absolutely, what ambassador for both clubs, as you say. A great feature on the match programme as well tonight, and as you say, he's looking fairly trim and fit. I no doubt he'd love to be out there, Matt, but I've no doubt he's happy to be watching this one in the stands tonight. But what a player, what a servant, and always left Everton out in the field, in fairness to him, and a great touch by Pats, in fairness.
16 years, Billy, he's been involved in the League of Ireland. He must feel strange. No League of Ireland football for him this year.
Yeah, a bit of a shock to the system, probably, but that's Kenny's choice, as the fella said. Certainly, I would think he would have had another 1 or 2 years, even if he had to go down a division. But having said that, after being an outstanding defender and picked up league and cups and everything, so he had a very distinguished career. 16 years, a long time in League of Ireland football,
and won everything humanly possible. The substitutes bench for Waterford United: Ty Ryan, of course, the goalkeeper; John Martin, Dean Welsh, Dara Power, Graham Cummins, Shane Griffin, and Niall O'Keefe. Some young lads on the bench, which is nice to see, especially Niall O'Keefe, excellent prospect.
Yeah, it's great to see Niall O'Keefe being promoted from the under-19s. And I think, Matt, that bench is strong enough, believe it or not, because Dean Welsh and John Martin now have 2-3 years. This is their third year with League of Ireland experience behind them at the top level. So I wouldn't have any fear about the bench and the experience with Graham Cummins and the Shane Griffin, another excellent player. So, yeah, I think Alan would be well pleased with a point there tonight, but it'll be a very interesting game to see what way they're going to approach it, both teams,
It's beautiful framed presentation.
Smashing, isn't it?
Gavin, it's lovely, isn't it?
Absolutely smashing, yeah, absolutely, and really, really appreciate it being grabbed here as well with the local photographers, the atmosphere building, and really is a special player. He's kind of a crowd's favourite, really, Matt, wasn't he? Just the way he defended, he had that down to an art, and was always afraid, he wasn't afraid to get up and score many famous goals as well.
Great reader of the game he was, Kenny Brown. Before we start the commentary, Billy, would you like to make a prediction on tonight's game, or what you hope for here?
Well, obviously we'd love to get to 3 points. It'd be massive to get to 3 points, but being realistic about it, Matt, I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
He's copying what I said earlier on.
Gavin,
He didn't know.
Gavin, okay.
That's great. We'd have Billy again with us at half time.
Absolutely, and I suppose on that as well, Matt, we must congratulate Billy as well at this stage. I know he had his book launch there last night, My Chinese Experience. I believe
Chinese Experience, yeah.
Gained great traction during the week, and big congrats to him. I know, great honour, and I believe it went well into the night last night, but we'll say no more on that front.
We'll actually talk to Billy about the book at half time, because it's a superb book published by Orla Kelly down there in Cork. Smashing book indeed. Get your copy. It's only €15, believe it or not. Yes, you listen to a live Premier League football here in Richmond Park, and it's courtesy of Clem Jacob Hire, a proud Waterford company. We're waiting for the arrival of the teams onto the pitch. Nice atmosphere here at the moment, Gavin.
Absolutely, building really, really nicely, man. I suppose that's what it brings us. Was the first game of the season, and the crowd is really kind of in your face. Even space in the press box here, it's very limited at the minute, but as I say, it's just walking into the ground. You capture the kind of, I suppose, intrigue of the whole ground in that, and it was Pat's supporters and the Blues supporters was saying, I know there was a couple of busloads leaving from the RSC when we were heading off there earlier on this afternoon, so there's a nice Waterford gathering behind that goal as well, and get behind the Blues, because as I say, 8 players making their debut, a whole new look team, and hopefully get off to a good start tonight.
You wonder how quickly they're going to blend. I know they've been training away and playing pre-season games out there, but nothing. This is a different ball game altogether when you come into a cauldron that's the Richmond Park.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I think Alan Reynolds alluded to that, Matt, when he was chatting to you about, you can play all the pre-season friendlies and train as hard as you can. Nothing beats that cutthroat nature of the League of Ireland. And some players will take to it tonight and they'll enjoy the whole experience and embrace it and try and approach it with confidence. But the bond seems to be good in the squad, Matt, as I say. First 10 minutes will probably tell a lot. Get past the settling down stage and kind of ease yourself into the game, because I suppose you don't want St. Pat's to settle in front of the home fans. You want to try and maybe upset them and keep yourself in the game for as long as you can.
Yeah, big weekend of sport, of course, here on WR tomorrow night. We're down the Gaelic grounds for Limerick and Waterford. Kieran O'Connor will be on duty there with Owen Murphy, and that's thanks to George Corbett. Skoda.
Hopefully,
we
yeah.
go back to the match. Is it in doubt? The
weather
forecast is terrible.
It is. I think there's Storm Dennis, I believe it is due to batter Ireland tomorrow. Dennis the Menace, yeah, absolutely. We'll see what he throws up tomorrow, Matt, off the field. But I suppose, look, we'll keep a close eye on it. And anyone, I suppose, who has any postponements as well in the morning, let us know. We'll do our best to give us, because just the last couple of weeks, I know from being involved with a couple of squads myself, even trying to get pitches and everything, very, very hard to plan anything. But look, as of now, it's still going ahead. So Giant Kieran and Owen should be a cracker. Of course, 2 unbeaten teams, two proud hurling counties, and with Liam Cahill involved on board this year, they've made a great start. And obviously they'll be meeting Limerick later on the year in the Munster Championship. But should be a cracker there on Shannon's side tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's a huge day for Stradbally Football Club tomorrow.
It is, yeah.
Fairview Rangers from Limerick there in the Munster Cup. That's down at Stradbally at 2 o'clock kickoff. We wish Stradbally the very, very best of luck in that match. And then at 7 o'clock up in the Old Borough up there in Dungarvan, it's Dungarvan against Waterford Christian, also in the Munster Cup. So hopefully those 2 games will go ahead. Of course, all schoolboy games due to be played in Waterford tomorrow have been cancelled, apart from the SFEI Cup games. And at this stage we'd like to wish the Villa the very best of luck, because they're playing Cavan Shamrocks in the SFAI under 14 Cup tomorrow. 1 o'clock kick-off down there in Connors Park. So really is a massive weekend, and I might as well get it in now. Of course, it's going to be a huge presentation in the Mercy Hall tomorrow night at 7:15, when the Wildcats will be officially crowned the under-20 Cup champions before the big match against Sniffy Celtic. So that's going to be a great occasion, Gavin, tomorrow night, 7.
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, man. I remember chatting to Tommy O'Mahony there a couple of weeks ago when they won the title. Absolutely phenomenal ambassadors, and it's great that they can be honoured tomorrow night as well in the Mercy Gym, as the teams, of course, come out onto the field here tonight. Darren Markey, Matt, just reading this, has picked up a knock in the warm-up. He's been replaced by Dean Clark, with Jake Walker coming onto the bench for St. Pat's. So that is Dean Clark taking the place of Darren Markey, who got injured in the warm-up. Many thanks, lads, for that. So there's a late change, and I suppose from a Waterford point of view, they might be glad to see Darren Markey maybe going up to the bench, Matt.
They would indeed, because Markey's a very, very good player. He's an excellent player indeed. So it could be a little bit of a bonus, we hope, for Waterford.
Yeah, let's hope so indeed. Just a big shout out as well there, Matt. During the week, I met the great Alfie Egan of Dungarvan. Alfie Egan of Dungarvan, of course, synonymous there, big GA, big sports fan. He bumped into him during the week. He just wanted to wish Alan Reynolds and the Blues the very best of luck for the season ahead. I know he's tuned in. He is actually, yes, you couldn't stop him singing, sure, really, I suppose, a pure legend. But he just wanted to wish us the best with the broadcast tonight. I know he's tuned in back there at home, and I met him actually in Liam Welch's shop there, Boston Barbers in Dungarvan. So we've Liam and a lot of Portlaw, I believe, tuned in as always tonight.
I take a word for it. It's not many years since I was in a barber shop. But Alfie is singing longer than Dickie Rock at this stage. It's unbelievable.
Yes, I know. Sure, absolutely. Alfie is a legend, really. You know what I mean? Around not alone Dungarvan, but the whole county. And absolutely, I'm sure he'll sing 1 or 2 yet if the Blues pull off a result here, Matt.
He will indeed. Yeah, Waterford in the old blue strip, of course, and St. Patrick's Athletic in their famous red jerseys with the white sleeves, white shorts and red socks. And Waterford, of course, with that fantastic news. There's no sponsor or anything on the jersey, but that's all going to change next week. Incredible news broke early this morning, of course, when Lee Power, the owner of Waterford Football Club, decided that he's going to put cardiac care on the jerseys for the remainder of the season. We need it so badly in Waterford. It was a magnificent gesture by Lee Power.
Unbelievable, man. Absolutely. I was absolutely, dancing around the place when that came through this morning, because I say it's touched so many people, and I suppose it's about time Waterford and we in the South East, you know what I mean, kind of, I suppose, stood up to the plate, I don't know if you want to call it that, but in fairness to Lee Power, fantastic gesture, and always greeted with great gusto and I suppose happiness, not alone Waterford people, but I think everyone without the South East, to get the cardiac care issue, because it's affected so many people, and there have been so many sad stories, some fatal. I was alluding to that earlier on with Damien this morning. It's about time, I suppose, got this important issue sorted, and fantastic initiative by the Blues. And I know that jersey you were saying off is going to be launched in Waterford during the week.
It's been launched in the Viking Hotel at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, and it'll be Waterford the first time in the home game against Bohemians next Friday.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. It's a game that's going to get national headlines, because of course Bohemians are wearing their away strip, and they have Amnesty International on their one, refugees welcome. So it's going to be an incredible occasion in the RSC next Friday.
Absolutely, yeah. First home game of the season. Hopefully plenty of home support there as well, and with both teams, the jerseys there are going to be absolutely fascinating as well. Nice shot there of Brian Murphy there as well, Matt. I know a good friend of yours. He's well decorated, I suppose. Both goalkeepers, Brian in his green there, very fluorescent green, and then the orange of Brendan Clark. He certainly won't be missed at the other end of the ground there this evening,
I watched Brian playing as a little boy. down with Waterford Bohemians.
Seen him all the way, yeah.
We've been friends ever since. And we thought we were going to lose him to soccer because, he was going to go off playing hurling with Ballygunner. But he decided to go the other route. We can tell you that Waterford, as we look at it here in the main stand, are playing from left to right. So that means they're going to be playing into the old shed end. And the roof of the old shed end is gone. It's been dismantled during the course of the week. So it's more or less empty there. But it's kind of a rusty old roof was on it. They've taken it down for safety reasons. So Waterford are playing into that end. And the game is underway here. Waterford now is trying to get the game underway, but pass there for Sambone goes a little bit astray. Bounces out over the sideline for a throw in. Throw in to St. Patrick's Athletic. And Zine Birmingham, the captain, looking for an option or two here. So he just throws it long down the field that time, but it's picked up this time by Andrea Burley. Andrea Burley loses out, but the ball runs out for a throw into Waterford. Yeah. Listen to live football here on WLR. Many thanks to Clem Jacob Hire, proud Waterford company.
Absolutely great to have Clem on board, Alan. We're just alluding to there at the sideline here, and the fans, they're really, really close to the pitch, tight ground, but I suppose that's what creates a great atmosphere.
Certainly does indeed. I'm trying to get used to all these new players. Scott Allardyce this time playing the ball.
That actually hit off Sean Grant, the referee got.
He plays it back to Tyke Wilson. Tyke Wilson back to Brian Murphy, as you said there in the fluorescent green. And Brian just boots it off down the pitch there, goes out for a throw in on the far side to St. Patrick's Athletic. Just coming up to the opening minute of play here. Still needless to say scoreless. So it's going to take, I would imagine, 5-10 minutes for the teams to settle, Gavin Whelan.
Yeah, definitely. And we had just a little bit of a shower as well, Matt. So it was evident there on that kick by Brian Murphy. The ball will skid off that surface tonight, so you could see maybe a ball going out for throws, and that first control is going to be important here tonight. So that little bit of a shower. But other than that, as I said there on social media, quite a crisp but a fresh evening here in Dublin.
Yeah, Waterford are doing pretty well. They're not
certainly
knocking around nice and tidy there. Matty Smith there, Matty Smith is playing up front with Michael O'Connor, so it's more or less a 4-4-2 formation.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose playing in simple, straightforward from Rennie setting out. I suppose Matt, as say, will try and bide the time and ease into the game, maybe into the 10th minute. Good run there by Smith, but just unfortunately offside, and Clark now with a chance to launch an attack. Yeah,
Michael O'Connor's a good man to lay off balls, so hopefully he'll be able to get the service to Matty Smith. All new to all these guys, of course. I think some of these guys have never been in Ireland until this week. Yeah. And I think Eddie Mayo is one of them, I think, and the other guy, Burley.
Yeah, so of course, two of them only came through. It wasn't officially announced today, but I know a lot of work went on behind the scenes,
Yeah, so it's a big night for those lads. Never been in Ireland, never mind playing the League of Ireland. St. Patrick's have possession halfway inside the Waterford half. On the far side, it's a throw in, and this has been taken by Rory Feedy. Of course, it was the Waterford captain last year. He plays it to one of his colleagues, and one of his colleagues trying to get it through there, but Tyke Wilson is there, and he just gets a foot on it, puts it out over the sideline. So St. Patrick's sitting on the offensive here, midway inside the Waterford half on the far side. Big crowd over on the far side. A good crowd behind one of the goals also, and the stand, of course, needless to say, packed to capacity at the present time.
Absolutely, indeed, yeah, it really is. Everyone kind of packed in, I suppose. And a bit of about Pats as well. They'll be keen, Matt, to try and improve last season. Finished fourth, of course, we all know.
Yeah, there's big expectations.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
Absolutely, yeah. Stevie O'Donnell and co, like a lot of investment, as you say, but they'll be looking for a big season.
They will indeed, yeah. One of the biggest budgets in the league at the present time. That was a dangerous ball there put in by Billy King, but it's caught out there by Sam Bond.
Oh, he's caught late, Matt.
Yeah, that looks one. Sean Grant is going to leave a goal as Matty Smith is on the ball over on the far side there. He's in the cut in from the left. He's into the penalty area. Matty Smith, he plays it back to Wilson. Wilson lobs it into the penalty box. Oh, Michael O'Connor almost got a toe to it, but the goalkeeper did well there. Sean Grant saw something, but a nice attacking move there. Smith did very well to cut in there from the left.
He certainly did. I think he's going to come back for that challenge on Sam Bone. It was a very, very late tackle indeed,
That was good play by Sean Grant, because he left the play go. He left the play go because Waterford were on the attack, but he went straight back and booked the St. Patrick's player.
Yeah. I suppose to use a refereeing, phrase, common sense, Matt.
Common sense, yeah.
Which doesn't always prevail. I think it is Lee Desmond who's picked up the first yellow card of the evening, is it? It's Jamie Lennon, actually. Jamie Lennon, number 6, sorry.
Jamie Lennon, yep.
Late tackle on Sam Bone. And deserve it, but as I say, good refereeing, good advantage, bit of sense there by Sean Grant.
Ali Coate there trying to break forward. He played it out that time to Matthew Smith, but the ball unfortunately didn't reach him, and it's back with the goalkeeper, Brendan Clark. He boots it off down the pitch. Well read there by Sam Bone. Sam Bone decides to leave it out, so it's a throw into Waterford.
Absolutely, indeed, yeah. Absolutely cracking evening, smashing evening, as we say here in the capital as well. And maybe it's the calm before the storm, as they say, maybe. But good atmosphere, great ground, and of course, I suppose this is the start. We'll keep you updated as well as we go through the other scores as well on this busy opening weekend of
Very
League
much,
of Ireland.
See Kevin O'Connor there, of course, back with the club, barking out the orders there. And he's kind of playing on the right hand side of the midfield. He's barking out orders there.
Absolutely, I suppose
his experience will be vital here tonight.
It certainly will, yeah. And I suppose that's what you need as well. And I suppose that's what a new team brings as well, Matt. That even the whole gelling aspect of and getting them together as well. That may take a few weeks. Sometimes some players kind of click straight away, but it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Ali
Coach, very tidy looking player, I must say. It's the first time I've really seen him this year, apart from the pre-season game, obviously. But he looks a very, very good addition to the team. It's a throw into St. Patrick's and letting halfway inside their own half. It's the captain Ian Birmingham who's taking it. He takes a short one to Martin Rennie, who's a new name on me. Don't know where this guy is from, but he lays it back to Luke McNally.
It's going to be a loose ball, Matt, I'd say, is it? Yeah.
Over there, I think there's 7 or 8 throws they've got in here on the far side.
I was just going to say, it's a ground, I'd say there's a lot of throws, I'd say. It just seems very tight, like it, isn't it?
Tonight, anyway. Yeah. Sam Bowen this time looking for people to try and get a bit of spare.
Like they're playing.
Doesn't work because it's booted clear that time by Lee Desmond.
It's like they're playing basketball by the end of the night or something.
The ball is played back that time by new signing there, Akin Buddy Mayo to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy, a bit of a loose clear. Bad tackle against the Waterford player. That is in trouble here, Neil. And it's Wilson. I think it's Clark Wilson. Bad tackle.
I know he's pleading his innocence, Matt, but it wouldn't surprise. Maybe it is the first game. Does
could
he?
Could be a bad one. Could be.
I wouldn't be surprised if he brandishes red. To be honest,
now. It would be an absolute disaster because you've only played 29 minutes, and to get a red card already. It's going to be interesting now. The same Pats player is still on the ground. It was a reckless tackle.
It was, but I like what he's doing. He's just seeing what way the Pats player is before going back and making that rash decision. He's obviously getting dreamed on.
It's a big moment now. It's a big moment. I see Alan Rennes is worried there. He's talking to the fourth official. This is a big moment.
Yeah. Yellow. And he probably counted himself lucky, Matt. 2 feet were off the Pats player. Hopefully he's not too in. I'm not too sure who it is down. Just can't see the number at the minute. But way off the ball there, Matt, and I can.
Yeah, but I'm sure what Grant is saying. Look, we're only 8 minutes into the match.
Yeah.
Anymore. That's it. Not taking any more.
Yeah, absolutely. But
well, so again, early, maybe give him the benefit.
It is, but he has to be careful now, Matt, to say for the rest of the game. I'm sure Pats will be hoping to, I suppose, attack there at pace and try and, I suppose, threaten the Blues' defence. It looked like
it's going to be a dangerous position now for the free kick. St. Patrick's are letting a lot of our players on the edge of the penalty area.
Looked like Dean Clark, actually, the guy who was in place of Markey. Yeah,
he plays a short actually this time, and it's a bad free kick there. He played a short to Jamie Lynn. Jamie Lynn made a complete mess of it, and the ball just went out over the end line. So I'm sure Alan Matthews is the official manager of St. Patrick's Athletic, and Stevie O'Donnell is the coach. I'm sure they're not too happy with that free kick.
No, they're certainly not. It really was wasted, wasn't it? Because they were in a good position, lob it into the box and maybe ask questions of the Blues defence, but obviously tamely and harmlessly out over the end line there, wasn't it?
He took the free kick like it was only 15 yards to the guy he played it to, Jamie Lennon, and so the Waterford defenders then had an easy job just to try and block him out.
Yeah, very tame effort, to be fair.
Yeah, so Waterford on the attack here once again. Sam Bowen in the centre circle. He hits it up high. Michael O'Connor there out jumped at that time by Lee Desmond. Michael O'Connor has the ball back again. He's trying to get it back down to Matthew Smith that time by his little glancing header. It was a little bit too weak, so the ball comes back over to our end again, just here over the halfway line here at Richmond Park. Throw into Waterford, and it's Sam Bowen again with the throw in. Yeah, listen to the big match here on WR. 9 minutes played here in Richmond Park. It's St. Patrick's Athletic 0, Waterford FC 0, and of course coverage is brought to you by Clem Jacob Hire, the proud Waterford company.
Yeah, great stuff. And I think Alan Reynolds there, you see him there, he's really encouraging the lads, and he'd be delighted with this start, Matt. Waterford certainly playing well. What have we, just 9 minutes on the clock, and they're certainly well settled in at this stage.
They are indeed, and news and a half to Andre Burley. He's centre back. He looks the part. Did very well there because Murphy was charging down, but he got in a nice tackle. Yeah,
bearing down his neck. Just put it out of just a bit of, I suppose, use his head there, get it out, and Waterford have it back, Matt, and can break at pace, hopefully.
Yeah, they're breaking very quickly indeed. Yeah, they are breaking very quickly indeed. They look very fit tonight, Waterford.
They're certainly not, both teams in fairness. It's a good pace to the game, a good lively start. As I say, you always get that, I suppose, at the start of the league, and people are keen to show their managers and show the fans what they're about. It's the linesman on the far side, the assistant on the far side is given that as a free actually into the back there of Martin Rennie, I think it was. As I say, Matt, haven't heard that name before, but Sean Grant, of course, the Wexford official, the man in the middle tonight.
Yeah, we have a listener out there in Valencia. He's listening to the match with Michael, Tom Murphy's nephew, of course. Tom Murphy, Carr says, and Josh Clutter. He's listening out there in Vienna. So many thanks for that, my man. We're just hoping to bring you a victory, but free kick to St. Patrick's over there on the far side. The ball comes deep into the penalty area. Brian Murphy comes out. Good clean pair of hands there from Brian Murphy. So holds the ball up to his chest in that fluorescent green.
Yeah, he won't be missed, Matt.
He certainly won't. Nice pass to Coote. Ali Coote.
In the orange boots.
Sam Bourne over here. Just
well
underneath this again. Another throw in for Waterford. But I really like the way Ali Coote is taken to this game.
He's certainly growing into it, man. Seems a confident player, getting on the ball, going for the 1-2, and great feet as well, great footwork, you know what I mean, able to weave his way through tackles.
He has great vision indeed. So Waterford on the attack again here. The ball is bouncing around in the penalty area.
That should be a corner, Matt. Yeah, it should be.
They won the corner, did very well. Matty Smith did very well in there indeed, because he knew the St. Patrick's Athletic player was coming, and he didn't move, and St. Patrick's player Lennon had no option but just to put the ball out for a corner kick.
Yeah, I think it is Coote. We can see it's hard enough to even get him, but I just see those orange boots on him as well. He won't be missed either tonight, so it's Coote who's going over, Matt, to take that corner.
Is it, yeah? Because you packed the press box is packed, the stand is packed, so you can't really see. So here the ball comes lobbing in, and Michael O'Connor with the header, and it goes over the bar. But another nice little bit of a move there by Waterford.
Yes.
Michael O'Connor, of course. I'm sure Alan Rennes made him captain just to kind of steady him down, because, you don't know what to expect from Mike, and I think the responsibility of being captain could be ideal move by Alan Reynolds for him.
Absolutely, yes, and I suppose it's all confidence really indeed with him, and that was a good header as well. Just got a text.
Yeah, he did well. Yeah, he peeled away there from Jamie Lennon, got his header in. Unfortunately, went over the bar. Waterford on the attack over on the far side again.
Just breaks.
So
they have it now.
Defending in numbers here. Ball is booted down, but it's the new player Uddy Mayo on his own there. He plays a nice short ball to Ali Coote. Ali Coote up forward, and he tried to play to Michael O'Connor, but the full back there in Birmingham got back indeed. He just ballooned it into the stand. So another throw in for Waterford.
Into the car park, I'd say with that one, Matt.
I think so, yeah. Just to remind people again, new name on the Waterford jerseys for next week. Cardiac care 24/7. We need it in Waterford, and fair play to Lee Power, as we said earlier on. But back to the things in hand at the moment. Michael O'Connor has it out by the corner flag here on the right hand side, and he wins another throw in.
Forced to throw match, absolutely.
Sam Bourne is going to have sore arms at this rate of going, because they're taking about a dozen throw-ins already, and we've only played 13 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Sam Bourne, I think he's going to try and get as far as he possibly can with his throw into the penalty area, and that's exactly what happens. Michael O'Connor runs there, but foul throw, yeah. Unusual to see a foul throw.
And called by the referee himself there that time. So yeah, as I said, you don't see too often, but
foul throws are few and far between in professional football. It just shows you everybody is human.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose you think it now. I suppose sometimes maybe technique mightn't be right, but look, well spotted by the referee. I suppose. And I
remember the late great Johnny Matches when he was refereeing, like in the little boys would be, playing it. He'd always keep your feet on the ground, and if he did take a foul throw, he wouldn't disallow it. He'd tell him to take it again.
Yeah, just explain it. Go through. Yeah, I think that's what he signalled there. He kind of lifted the leg to say maybe to suggesting that look, the back leg was off the ground or something like that. So absolutely.
But Johnny used it. Johnny Matches, he was great at that.
Yeah, wasn't he brilliant to say in his refereeing days, Matt? I suppose absolutely tell the kids, and I suppose give him that bit of encouragement too, because he wanted, I suppose, the players to learn as well, and that was, I suppose, bringing his aspect and style of play into it as well, which was absolutely smashing indeed. So all is fondly remembered, Jack.
Never be forgotten.
Absolutely.
I know Alfie Hale and Paul Morris are listening in. A super night with them last night. The two legends are listening to this tonight also.
Great stuff,
let's hope we can bring back the 3 points to him. And that time there's a new player, Andrew Burley, playing that back to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy launches his back up the field. I think it's going to go straight out for a goal kick at the other end.
Yeah, Matthew Smith was very unlucky. Or did he keep? He kept it in.
Yeah, he kept it in.
Yeah, he's after winning a corner, matter of throw.
Yeah, it's a throw in actually.
Throw into the Blues, down the far side. Sam Bone going to come up to take it, Matt.
Waterford have won, I'd say 80% of the possession so far in the opening 15 minutes.
Oh, without a doubt, certainly playing a lot of it in the in the Pats half of the field, which is good, really positive. Growing into the game, and as I say, a real confidence. Confidence with Waterford passing the ball around, and I suppose players getting to know each other, etc. Good
ball
delivery.
Played in. Michael O'Connor, just over the bar.
Top of the net there. Oh, unlucky.
Beautiful cross from Kevin O'Connor. Fantastic cross. He whipped it in with his left leg, and O'Connor rose like an eagle, and unfortunately just went over the bar. That's the closest we've come to a goal. What a cross from Kevin O'Connor. Left footed cross. Brilliant. And a brilliant header by O'Connor, unfortunately over the bar. Great stuff from Waterford.
Absolutely, yeah, did everything right, man, as I say. And in fairness, Clark was kind of worried about that. He was kind of glad to see it land on top of the net rather than inside it. But that was a great move by the Blues. Great delivery. And as I say, O'Connor, great rise there. As I say, got up, firm downward header, but just unfortunately over the crossbar. But certainly good spell now for the Blues. But Pat's back on the attack now, Matt, there with Robbie Benson.
Robbie Benson, of course. Signed from Dundalk, superb player, as Billy Cosling was talking about earlier on.
Indeed,
he really is, he's a superb player. So it's a corner kick to St. Patrick's Athletic. They're in no particular hurry to take it.
No, they're not really, no. And
Robbie Benson just strolling over there. He doesn't look in any particular hurry to take this.
I think they're trying to maybe buck this, because they said Waterford have kind of grown into the game, really. Maybe Pats are just trying to buck that trend, I suppose, and get themselves back into the game,
So here's Robbie Benson then, who said who had a superb career with Dundalk. Received that terrible injury, of course, in the RSC.
Yeah, that's
back there,
playing
with Dundalk. He was out of the game for a long time, but he came back. Strunker never shot there from St. Patrick's Athletic. Came back off with Sam Bone.
Claiming handball.
But it came back off with Sam Bone's shoulder. I could see. So the ball is back down at the other end again. A bit of a mix up there by St. Patrick's Athletic, but Robbie Benson is back after taking the corner to clear up the danger. Michael O'Connor was trying to get in. The ball has been lobbed up and down the pitch here in a rate of knots. Sam Bone was under severe pressure down there, trying to hold on to the ball from Jay McLennan.
Yeah, that's
Sam
good.
Bone
Excellent by Sam Bone.
He did well there, and is actually come back off of McLennan for a throw in to Waterford.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was Ian Birmingham there put that one out. He's always in, isn't he? The legendary. We got our first text of the evening from Mr. Frank Ryan, who's inquiring to know if the black card rule is in operation tonight here in Richmond Park. He's off. He's unreal, isn't he? I don't think so, Frank. Good to have him tuned in. I believe he told me he wasn't travelling up tonight because he's working early on Saturday, so he is listening in. I'm sure I said so am I, Frankie, but anyway.
The man is a money machine. He doesn't know when to stop. Waterford on the attack again on the far side here is Tyreek Wilson that time. Yeah. He wins the throw in on the far side. He takes the throw in himself. Plays it back to Matty Smith. Matty Smith plays it back to Akin Uddy Mayo. Uddy Mayo plays it to his fellow Reading colleague Andre Burley. Those two lads have impressed me. They look very, very good indeed. Of course, they were sent over here by John O'Shea, our own legend. John is the first team coach at Reading, and he sent the lads over.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
To get some experience,
And he's really kind of bringing, I suppose, his own experience to the whole project, Matt, as well. He's absolutely a brilliant ambassador and for the sport. And as you say, he did a good article as well today. And I suppose encouraging the younger players as well to go out and express themselves. Something John done, of course, as a young player. And I suppose look where it got him. And now he's, I suppose, passing the baton down, if you want to say that.
Yeah, and it's great that he's not forgetting his own local club,
Absolutely, yeah.
I know they'll gain so much by playing in the League of Ireland compared to no reserve team football over in England.
Yeah, certainly, yeah. I know there's a couple of my own gang there, the Dublin gang, who were actually in the Dublin area, but they're on their way home. They're listening on the way back there. A couple of the local Gaels there who are on the way back to the Dungarvan area there. So good to have you tuned in, lads. We might see you tomorrow. And I suppose Pat's now just regaining the possession back all the way to their goalkeeper, Matt Brendan Clark, as you say, who won't be missed certainly in that fluorescent orange there. But certainly Waterford will be very, very, very pleased with 18 and a half minutes gone here in Richmond Park, the opening night of the season, of course.
Yeah, message coming in now from Tremor out there, of course, and we have to Myrtle Turtle, many thanks for your lovely comment there, Myrtle, greatly appreciated. And of course we have to we keep that for a moment, because Waterford on the attack is Tyreek Wilson over on the far side there, playing left full back, whips the ball in. I tried to pick out Matty Smith, but the defender got back in time there to clear it. Jenny Lemon, shot from Waterford this time, but it's saved by Brendan Clark. This is good football, has to be sent from Waterford. We have to stricken colleague, of course, Ray Scott. I know he's listening out there in Tremor also. Ray will be back with us very, very shortly. Had a serious knee operation, but I think he's way ahead of schedule. So Ray will be back in the commentary box in the near future, Gavin.
Absolutely, wish him very, very well indeed. A nice message from him on Twitter there earlier on. So yeah, hope the recovery process is going well, Ray. Absolutely, and great to have him tuned in tonight.
I heard him nearly going to close down the Small Golf Club because I think Ray spends another time on the golf course.
From the classroom to the golf course, man.
So Brendan Clark nearly made a mess of things.
Yeah,
that time
great pressure by Waterford there. Excellent one back there.
Sam Bones charging forward this time. Oh, he tried to play in that time too. Michael O'Connor to Matty Smith. Matty Smith is putting in one hell of a shift over there on the far side. He's a good engine on it for a small little man. But it's St. Patrick's already.
This could be the space here, Matt.
And this is a very dangerous move. Billy King is on the ball from Bats. But Sam Bowen back again. Sam Bowen having a cracking game also. So many good displays so far for Waterford. 21 minutes gone. St. Patrick's Athletic 0. Waterford FC 0. You listen to the big match here from Richmond Park thanks to Clem Jacob Hire. Proud Waterford company, of course. And of course, with the spring almost coming in June now, March and April, Clem will be a very busy man.
He will indeed, Does that stretch in the evenings, man?
They are indeed. Here comes St. Pat's again. Billy King trying to cut in from the left. He gets the ball into the penalty area. Oh, it's headed away there superbly by Uddy Mayo. So it puts Waterford back on the attack again, and it's over on the far side with Matty Smith. He's unfortunately, the ball is too fast for him, and he runs out for a throw in, but this game has been played on a it's a super game actually.
Excellent stuff, end-to-end stuff, absolutely brilliant. In fairness to Grant too, he's leaving things flow. He's not blowing the whistle. He's warning. I think at his bone there he's having a quick word. I think there was a bit of a loose tackle, but as you say, Waterford, did the right thing there. Just cleared their lines rather than passing it out of defences. I know they conceded the throw, but that's up their own end of the field. They won't mind that. But as you say, both sides really full of energy, full of pace, and great start to the game at 21 on the clock.
Yeah, we'll get a quick word with Billy Costley now very shortly when next time the ball goes out of play. Billy, are you happy enough with the way things are going at the moment?
I'm very impressed with Waterford's approach to the game. They're certainly in this game, and I've no doubt about that, but it's 50-50 at the moment. But yeah, very impressed, and the new guys seem to be settling in well at the back, and obviously Brian on the goal.
Yeah, they have really settled in. The two lads from Reading really looked apart, don't they, in defence?
Yeah, well, we all thought Sam Bowen was going to play him on the central positions. They ended up playing full back. The only thing we got wrong, of course, is they're playing 4-1-3-2 instead of 4-4-2. But it seems to be accommodating them all right. Sam Allardyce is playing sitting deep in front of the back four and seemed to be working. But certainly effort and commitment. O'Connor was unlucky with 2 headers there. So we're well in this game. I'm more than pleased with what we're looking at.
Sam Allardyce has had to lose to some weight. Scott Allardyce. The belt, Billy Costley.
Very good. I texted there as well, Matt, from 1 second. We'll just stay with this play there for a second. We'll bring it to you. I'm not sure, is it going in or is it going to be? It is a Pat's throw. Very hard to see the players down that far corner, as I say, because the stand is so tightly packed. But great atmosphere and a great evening here in Dublin as well. Very mild night.
This is indeed 23 minutes gone. St. Patrick's Athletic 0. Waterford FC 0. And it's St. Patrick's now on the attack here. This is a very, very dangerous attack from St. Patrick's Athletic. The ball is whipped in. Oh, great defending work again. These two boys are playing absolutely brilliant. Andre Burley that time. Oh my God, that was a great sweeping move by Pascal. What a brilliant clearance there by Burley.
And out of play, it didn't hang in the air and just put it out, just averted the danger. Very, very clued in, and very, very focused, and certainly impressed, as I say, by Burley in the Blues defence.
So Pat Stitch in the bin now from the back this time to Lee Desmond.
Well cut out.
Play the ball out to Ian Birmingham, but it's caught out there by Ali Coote, and it breaks to Michael O'Connor. Michael O'Connor trying to make movement down here. I thought he was at the pulling up there with a hamstring, but he just stopped running into the crowd.
He did. Ran into Stephen O'Donnell there in the line, I think,
He knew he wasn't going to reach the ball, so he just said he'd stop before he ran into the crowd. Just a brick wall, of course, in front of the stand here. He didn't want to do himself an injury, so it's Ian Birmingham with the throw in halfway inside the St. Patrick's end of the field. 24 minutes on the clock. St. Patrick's 0, Waterford FC 0. Match commentary brought to you by Clem Jacob Hire, the proud Waterford company, of course. So Waterford building again this time, and they're really playing well. Ali Coote this time hasn't done anything wrong. Of course, of the commentator, he loses the ball, but
great
the ball
tackle.
The ball broke nicely that time.
And then Waterford give it away.
Yeah. They have indeed. Kevin O'Connor is covering all sorts of ground. He's over on the left-hand side. That was a fantastic cross in the 16 minute. Michael O'Connor's header just over the bar, but St. Patrick's Athletic on the attack again, but good defending there by Scott Allardyce. Just playing in front of the defence there and doing very well. Looks very, very comfortable in his position. As has to be said, all the Waterford players are looking very, very comfortable indeed, considering they've only, been sort of put together in recent weeks, and no less than 8 of them making their debuts for the club. It must be a record for Waterford,
Yeah,
the new players, Brian Murphy, of course, Aki Odimeo, Tarek Wilson, Andre Burley, Scott Allardyce, Alec Coote, Matty Smith and Robbie McCord, all playing their first game for the Blues.
And playing with confidence, Matt, too, as well, and the boys on the way back down, they really enjoyed Billy referring to Scott Allardyce and Sam Allardyce there, so because you need that bit of banter as well at times, don't you?
And of course, Billy's book, as he said, Chinese Experience, being the book centre there from tomorrow. You want to go in and buy a copy, and of course it's available on Amazon and Kindle and all sort of things. So
snap it up.
Yeah.
A nice message in there as well from David Nolan, Matt in Portlaw, who hopes I'm the lucky mascot tonight. He didn't make it out. He's out celebrating Valentine's night, he says, with his wife. Of course, we do forget at times it is Valentine's night, and hopes we enjoy the game. So nice message in there from Sonny, of course, as he's known.
I never thought I'd be...
How are you left up here tonight?
Valentine's night with Gavin Whelan.
It could be worse. It could be worse. I didn't think I'd be spending with you either, but you're anyway. That was anyway.
Break and play here. Needless to say, it's over on the far side. It's a throw into St. Patrick's Athletic, and it's going to be taken by Rory Feedy. Rory, of course, who captained the Blues on numerous occasions last year, got some good goals for us, but he's wearing the red and white of St. Pat's tonight. Yeah,
it was great to see him walking in there, wasn't it? Yeah, such a nice character off the field as well, wasn't he? He never let you down, or really, really honest guy. And of course, his brother with the Kildare footballers as well, really kind of steeped in it, the Feely family, really. And Rory, they're still very, very young as well, man. He's a great future ahead of him,
So bit of scrappy play at the moment here, but St. Patrick's trying to build ever so slowly at the moment, it has to be said. Jay McLennan is probably one player that's standing out at the moment, even more so I think than Robbie Benson. He's covering a lot of ground, McLennan, but the Waterford defenders are really doing superbly well every time he gets the ball, and really impressed we are by Uddy Mayo, really good looking player there, and Andre Burley,
absolutely,
on loan from Reading.
Yeah, absolutely, Reading, of course, really kind of playing with confidence as well, not just, not kind of selflessly kicking the ball away, just finding their players, working the ball out, and very, very composed as well. And certainly Waterford, both teams you could say not lacking fitness as well, as same at the game played at a great tempo.
Long free kick taken by Brian Murphy, but it's clear by the St. Patrick's defence. But there's only Coote on the ball again this time. He's just he's put in a great shift, and he wins the ball. But unfortunately, when Sam Bowen got possession of it there, he miscued it, put it out for a throw into St. Patrick's Athletic, and it'll be in Birmingham, the captain, to take this throw in.
Just looking at Waterford, it's they're a very big team as well, Matt. Waterford, even physically wise and strength, they're very well built, not lacking fitness either, very, very strong team. And as you say, looking at the bench as well, there's plenty of pace there as well when if Reynolds calls on that in the second half. Birmingham just been told to go back and take it from the correct position. Yeah, you have the youngsters like Niall O'Keefe and Shane Griffin, then you have the experienced Graham Cummins on the bench, was a great. Dean Welch is there, Dara Power, great
John
to see
Martin,
there as well.
So,
absolutely, As I say, a nice blend, as you say, of youth and experience, and I'm sure certainly Reynolds will be keen to get fresh legs, I suppose, in maybe for the last 20-15 minutes.
Jay McLennan on the ball again now for St. Patrick's Athletic. He really is a very, very good looking player. He's very good with his left and right leg. It doesn't seem to matter, but he got things wrong that time. Ian Birmingham went charging off down the left flank. He tried to get it out to him, but it overhit the ball, so it was a throw-in to Waterford again. And it's midway inside the Waterford half, and Sam Bowen is going to take it. 29 minutes gone on the clock. St. Patrick's Athletic 0, Waterford FC 0. You listen to the commentary thanks to Clem Jacob Hire, of course, proud Waterford company. And our next away game will be on Saturday the 29th,
yes,
up there in the showgrounds when Waterford plays Sligo. 2 home games, of course, in between next Friday. Massive match against Bohemians, and a few days later on the Monday, off to Shamrock Rovers. So it really has been a very, very hard start for Waterford, playing the 3 top Dublin teams. Yeah, if you look at that, I suppose, down through the fixtures, you'd be saying it's a really, really difficult start. But as you say, and those two big Dublin clubs, of course, Matt, big game at 2 o'clock tomorrow in the same capital, of course. But that should be a cracker tomorrow. Bows and Shamrock Rovers really always bring out the best in one another. Sold out, of course, weeks ago it did. So it's a free kick to St. Patrick's Athletic. Robbie Benson Plays it very, very short indeed to McLennan. He plays it back to Benson. He plays it back to Benson again. Benson is trying to drill it through, but Andre Burley did very well in there. Got a foot to it, put it out for a throw in. But I think they're getting a little bit of confidence. I think St. Patrick's Athletic in a moment. Billy King is going to take this throw in.
Yeah, they were calling for a handball as well. It would have been very harsh to give it off Burley there. It was kind of more ball to hand. But I'd say Pats on their free kicks, Matt, I've noticed they're kind of gone short and then working it through rather than playing it in through the, I suppose, putting it straight into the box. But obviously it's a routine, Stephen O'Donnell, something they've worked on in the training ground, and their first corner of the night.
Yeah, it's a corner kick and it's going to be taken out by Billy King. We're waiting for the delivery in this.
Well defended.
Headed clear, very well did indeed there by Ali Coote.
And yeah, just averting the danger there. Waterford, good stuff. Shout out there as well to Larkin Luby, who couldn't make it over to the match tonight. He's spending time enjoying Valentine's night as well. He hopes to make the return leg in Richmond Park, he says, later in the season. So shout out to him.
These men want to put their foot down.
They're taking this Valentine's night really seriously, man.
So Robbie Benson on the ball now, and he plays it the whole way back to Brendan Clark in the St. Patrick's Athletic goal. And he's forced to kick it quick because Michael O'Connor was bearing down on him. He wasn't going to give him any time, but it's a shot! Oh, what a shot that by Brian Murphy, was scrambling across his goal. But a great shot there. We'll tell you who it was in a minute, but that shot came on 31 minutes. A superb shot by Jamie Lennon. The whole way about 35 yards. And Brian was slightly off his goal, and it just went inches wide. Brian would not have saved that. But what an effort there from Jamie Lennon. Well, thankfully he went wide.
A smashing effort by Lennon. Fairness to Murphy, he's absolutely relieved to see that go over the bar. He was kind of back pedaling there the whole way. Very, very, I suppose some would say ambitious, but it was a very, very brave effort, as I say, by the Pats player, and very nearly could have been 1-0 to the home team. Murphy pretty relieved to see that one go over, but as I say, great tempo in the game, really livened up, and the home crowd starting to, I suppose, feed the atmosphere as well, Matt.
Yeah, I think the team are getting a little bit confident also. The St. Patrick's Athletic, they're on the attack again this time, but thankfully the Waterford supporters have got that clear, but they're doing an awful lot attacking over on the far side of the right hand side. They're trying to put pressure on Wilson, I think.
Yeah, it's a good spell now, in fairness, for Pats.
Yeah, they're doing well, okay now, and they're just outside the penalty area this time. Benson playing the ball out this time again to Billy King. The Stewardies are beginning to link up very well, but Waterford are holding steady, thankfully. King this time plays the ball into Jimmy Lennon. Out to King.
He was left very loose down. Look, he slips like it.
Clendon was just going to have a shot, but his left leg went from under him just outside the penalty area. So St. Patrick's Athletic now enjoying a lot of possession. All the Waterford players back in their own half, as St. Patrick's are beginning to up the tempo here. And they're on the attack, as we said again, and they're looking pretty dangerous at this stage. Waterford have to really hold tight to keep this game at scoreless. Ball headed clear there by Burley, but the ball breaks to Jamie Lennon. Jamie Lennon plays the ball out this time, and it's going to be a shot on goal this time, and it's clear by Jay McLennan. Jay blocked.
Sam Bourne there was brilliant.
Sam Bourne, Jay McLennan had the shot there just inside the penalty area, but good defending there by Sam Bourne. Really having a good game. Of course, was out so long with injuries last year, but really came on strong at the end of last season in the last number of games, and thankfully he's brought that in here tonight.
Yeah, really prolific figure, man, as you say, really getting, throws his body in there, loves the kind of physical exchanges, and came out with that ball with gusto, as you say, won it well, and it was like head tennis there for a few minutes with Waterford getting the throw, and a bit of relief for the visitors.
34 minutes gone on the clock. St. Patrick's Athletic 0, Waterford FC 0. Live commentary brought to you by Clem Jacob Hire, proud Waterford company. Yeah, I think Waterford have weathered the storm, Gavin, that time, because the last 5 or 6 minutes St. Patrick's Athletic were playing some nice football, but good defending when needed by Waterford.
Oh, definitely very composed, as you say. Well, I suppose, grown into the game at this stage, Matt, as you say, Pats with a bit of pressure there, but I suppose that Brian Murphy, when he was scrambling back there, that was the closest, but Waterford a good chance at O'Connor to the other end, the two big chances of the game so far. But as I say, good lively start and very open game so far.
Sam Bourne has the ball. He plays it back to Brian Murphy, the St. Patrick's bench there, looking for a free. What we're looking for.
I don't think there was, And in fairness, I think he's leaving it flow well. In fairness, he's doing a good job so far.
So, Brian boots that ball too far. He goes straight into the arms of his opposition goalkeeper, which is Brendan Clark. maybe Brian is used to playing on bigger pitches. It's not the biggest pitch up here, but
it's certainly not. It seems a very kind of tight kind of ground, I suppose. That's a bit like, kind of remind you of Dalymount as well. But even Dalymount, I think here you're really kind of in. You're nearly almost on the line, I suppose, really here, like the fans down there.
And it hasn't really changed down through the years. Like, come up here a long time. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed one iota really from the days, the great days back in the 60s and 70s. You know, they haven't really.
It's amazing, isn't it? At some clubs,
I know that they had big plans last year, the year before, but I think they had planning permission denied or something by the Dublin Council. I didn't really go into it too deep, but I think it all fell asunder anyway.
Yeah.
But Waterford on the attack now. Sam Bowen playing the ball down on to Michael O'Connor way too long, and the ball is going to go harmlessly back to Brendan Clark.
I'd like to see the amount of throws at the end of this game. on the stats, be very, very interesting. And he's bringing that throw along. I suppose the ball went out first before it kind of came back in, and sometimes it goes out.
Yeah, so it's a throw right on the halfway line in Birmingham, taking it to Billy King. Billy King trying to lay that ball off to Martin Rennie. Rennie loses out to Andre Burley, Waterford's new defender. Two boys really playing very well indeed. They seem to know each other. By all accounts, they know each other years since they were growing up together and they play football together. And you can see it, like the chemistry between Andre Burley and Uddy Mayo really is a joy to watch so far.
Yeah, certainly very evident out there tonight, man. Even see the way they're signalling to each other and talking to each other. That's what you have to do, I suppose, out in the field. Players have to take control of things, and they certainly have in abundance so far tonight. That was definitely was a handball there. I know it took a while for Sean Grant to blow the whistle, but that's bit of relief over the far side. Kevin O'Connor going very, very deep, but wins that free kick, and a chance for Waterford just to build another attack here as well. And I think Reynolds and company be very happy, Matt, after 35 minutes.
Indeed, Rory Feely was the man who handled that one, of course, and Kevin O'Connor shot. So
of course Rory played a good bit of Gaelic football as well in his younger days, Matt.
Yeah, his brother's very good, isn't he?
Kevin Feely Kildare, that's right. Yeah, they'll be hoping to
nominated for an All-Star, wasn't
absolutely, he was indeed. Yeah, hoping to make an impact this year. They've Jack O'Connor, of course, former Kerry manager, up with the Lily Whites this year.
So over on the attack here on the halfway line again, and is headed forward by Ali Coote to Matty Smith, but Matty Smith is not going to get to that. Brendan Clark comes out of his goal quickly. He balloons it up the pitch. Tyrek Wilson loses out there with the header on the far side. Oh, there's a collision there, but Sean Grant says that's a 50-50. Leaves it off.
Yeah, it was Dean Clark came in there, absolutely battered Burley, who's certainly kind of a welcome to the League of Ireland football. None
of the two lads were going to back off.
They weren't, and I think, in fairness, both eyes were on the ball. Both players picked themselves up. The ref didn't blow the whistle, gave the throw. There was no one complaining. Get on with it. Good stuff.
37 minutes gone on the clock. St. Pat's 0, Waterford 0 here in Richmond Park. The Electricity Premier League football is back on WR, and it's all, of course, thanks to Clem Jacob Hire. No scores in the other match. Cork City 0, Shelbourne 0, Dundalk 0, Derry 0. No score here, of course, and Finn Harp's Sligo Rovers in that
the Northwest Derby, of course.
Derby, no score either.
That kicked off at 8 o'clock as well, so yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm sure both teams will be keen to make a winning start up there in Ballybuffet tonight, Matt. Never an easy place to go, of course.
I'd like to say hello to Peter Nice, of course, and Phil Ham over there in Ipswich, who are tuning in tonight also, of course, and Brian Murphy, former Ipswich Town goalkeeper.
I know you're still coming to terms with your defeat to Sunderland, Matt, last weekend. Had to get it in at some stage. Just the Black Cats are kind of, they're kind of on a good run of form of late.
Sunderland are flying up, but we're flying down, don't we?
Yeah.
Here comes St. Patrick's Athletic on the attack. Oh, good refereeing again there. I thought the St. Patrick's player there, Benson, was after being fouled, but Sean Grant said no. But it's still Waterford on the attack through Billy King. Billy King plays it.
Oh, chance there
by Billy King. He laid that ball off to Martin Rennie.
Yep.
Low shot, and no real problems that time for Brian Murphy from Rennie's shot. Martin Rennie, he's kind of a weak shot, but a good play by Billy King.
Bread and butter stuff really from Brian Murphy. He wasn't going to be beaten from that kind of range, but as I say, good tackle before. I think was Burley. Just met the Pats player kind of fair in the exchanges. Ball broke and gathered easily by Murphy, but Waterford defence really, really impressed with the back four, and indeed the work rate and the energy of Waterford, Matt, certainly can't be faulted so far. Sam Bowen just giving away that ball there.
A loose ball there, but good covering there that time by Scott Allardyce, who was having a very good game just in front of the defence there. He's sort of playing in the pocket before in front of defenders and doing very, very well indeed. He looks very assured out there at the moment. Does
absolutely
Scott Allardyce.
Certainly does indeed, and there's just one game as well, Matt, and cross channel tonight. No goals in the Wolverhampton Wanderers Leicester City clash in the Premier League tonight. 24 minutes gone there in Molineux.
good season also, of course. Wolves.
Yeah, they certainly are. Yeah,
Very, very good manager.
Nuno Santa, isn't it?
Yeah,
Santo.
manager,
Absolutely.
Yeah, very
right,
good. St. Patrick's are letting on the attack here again now. They have another one of these little purple spells. And the shot. Shot came in that time. They were lucky that time because Billy King had the shot, but it deflected off of a Waterford player.
I think it was actually one of the Pat's
coming out. Actually,
Pat Ferry's coming out.
Yeah, he got in the way of the shot. There's a guy running over to us now, but a good effort there by Billy King had the shot. And it definitely would have tested Brian Murphy in the Waterford goal, but it came off at Luke McNally. And
kind of deflected. Now he's thrown in two, but there the fourth official, I think Gavin Colfer threw him in when he got one off the Waterford fans from behind the goal there, who were enjoying the crisp evening here in Dublin. They've obviously made the journey up, and I suppose, looking forward to the season ahead. As I say, it's a new team, they're building, and I know that the RSC is going to be rocking as well next Friday for the first home game. But in fairness to the Blues fans, Matt, always love travelling to grounds like Richmond Park or Dalymount or Tallaght Stadium, etc.
You can imagine what the RSC will be like next week. If Waterford could win this game, it would be absolutely amazing, because Bows are bringing a huge band of supporters down also, and they're unveiling a new shirt with Amnesty International in it. Of course, Waterford unveiling their new shirt also
midweek, of course,
care for the South East. So it's going to be a very special match indeed, but that's all going to happen next Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Of course, next Friday, as I say, first home game of the season, and I suppose games come thick and fast. Then you play Rovers on the Monday night, and then you had the Sligo on the Saturday the 29th. So I suppose games, I suppose they come thick and fast. I suppose, don't they? You know what I mean?
Hull City are on the horizon out in the RSC also.
Yeah,
so
what a game that's going to be.
4 minutes to go to half time here. Still score. It's in Richmond Park, and I'm sure both sides now, either of them would love to get a goal just before half time. Always a great time to score a goal just before half time, and it really deflates the opposition. So can Waterford score it? Can St. Patrick's Athletic score it? The next 4.5 minutes are going to tell us, because at the moment it's St. Pat's 0, it's Waterford 0. Goal kick to St. Patrick's Athletic. Brendan Clark lobs it down there. Burley this time misses out on the header, but doesn't matter because it's picked up by Matty Smith over on the far side. Smith has gone a little bit quiet in the game, but he's not getting an awful lot of service. He got a bit of service already.
Just ran out of space there, Matt.
12 minutes, but not really getting it this time. St. Patrick's Athletic on the attack again this time. Brian Murphy out of his goal easily to collect that. A rather weak cross came in there from Martin Rennie. Ball up at the under end again, but St. Patrick's Athletic have this under control. 3 defenders there crowding out Michael O'Connor, who was more or less on his own over there, because Matty Smith is playing out wide on the left hand side at the moment, just trying to cut in. There was one moment earlier on when he cut in, he did very well indeed, but it was headed over, of course, by Michael O'Connor.
I think that's kind of the aim, seem to both sets of teams playing down the flanks, and I suppose trying to get deliveries into the box. They're two very attacking teams, the same at great pace to the game, and 4-0. It's a very enjoyable game so far. Great tempo to it.
Yeah, you have to say the two defences are playing superbly well. Here comes St. Patrick's Athletic on the attack into the box. Brian Murphy comes out to take that ball, but the ball breaks loose inside the penalty area again, but Ali Coote is back there to clear the danger, and the shot comes in St. Patrick's Athletic from Rory.
Yeah, it was Feely there,
he never really got behind that Rory.
No, he kind of sliced it, didn't he? I'm not sure whether he was going outside of the boot or kind of trying to. It would have been a spectacular effort had it gone in, and he's got some great goals in his career with Waterford and elsewhere, and I suppose that one was
ironic. I suppose we had to score.
Yeah, I'm sure we wouldn't want him for it to happen tonight. Leave him score for the rest of the season, Matt. But against Waterford, maybe, hopefully, But no, as I say, top guy really on and off the field, and obviously great. Met him there coming in with the, as you say, maybe unusually to see him kind of in the red, but look, that's where he is now, and I've no doubt he'll be a big hit with the St. Patrick's Athletic fans here in Inchicore.
Dean Clark is doing well for St. Patrick's, because he was the guy brought in just before the kick-off when Darragh Markey injured himself.
In the warm-up, I think it was
Clark is doing well. He is giving Clark Wilson some problems over there on the far side. If we look at it, Wilson, of course, the left full back, and Clark is playing out wide right. Here comes St. Patrick's Athletic, but the captain can't control the ball in Birmingham, so it's going to be throw in to Waterford.
Just say as well, Matt, we were down pitch side earlier on doing our little pre-match video. Absolutely, pitch is in immaculate condition here as well, considering the amount of rain that fell. I know a little bit on the sidelines, maybe might be cutting up a little bit, but in fairness to the ground staff here in Richmond Park, it's looking smashing, isn't it? In fairness,
that does suffer because it's near the Liffey, with the heavy rain. So with the forecast we have tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah. Storm down,
the groundsman is going to be very busy up here. The grounds people, whoever they are. Yeah. Let's hope games goes. What school-by games will set tomorrow off in Waterford, apart from the SFEI Cup games, and we wish our clubs
absolutely.
Tomorrow, Villa playing at 1 o'clock down there in Connors Park to take on Gavin Shamrocks. A long journey for 14-year-olds from Gavin. Here come St. Patrick's on the attack again, and it's Rory Feely bombing down the number 2 on his back. Rory Feely shoots over the bar that time, and he was left run. Feely had the shot, but didn't really trouble Brian Murphy. Well over the bar.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, but I suppose something you can't afford to give Feely that bit of space. Came in there, cut through well, and I suppose had an effort there. And as you say, it was never really going to trouble Brian Murphy, but I suppose he's getting that bit of latitude there, and we've seen him, playing that down right there for Waterford last season. He loves that space and thrives, I suppose, of getting into it. But as I say, thankfully from a Waterford point of view, it rose high and over. But as I say, approaching just 1 minute, man, of injury time signal there by the fourth official, Gavin Colfer, and I don't think there's any surprise in that. No real stoppages.
Yeah, no stoppages. Super game. Played in a great spirit.
Absolutely, yeah. In fairness to the official, they're doing well, but I think it's made easy for him as well by two teams who are, I suppose, focused on the ball. That always helps, and it's a good opening, and it's a very, very lively opening 45.
Yeah, I'm sure Alan Reynolds was pretty delighted with the way. Okay, we haven't a great goal threat up there, but chances, I think, are going to be few and far between in this game. And when they come, the likes of Michael O'Connor and Matthew Smith will have to avail of them. He's been unlucky with 2 headers that went over the bar, Michael O'Connor. But we're not going to be the highest scoring team in the league. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
We're strong in the midfield. We're strong in the defence.
It's just maybe that cutting edge, isn't it? Really up front. Yeah.
But that's why you have to take the chances when they come.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that they were gifted chances. Michael O'Connor did very well with the 2 headers to rise and beat his marker for the headers. But if clear cut chances come, then just have to take them.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Because the chances are going to be few and far between. And into the last couple of seconds, I'd say now, Matt Sean Grant having a look at the watch.
Yeah, and there it goes. Half time here in Richmond Park. St. Patrick's Athletic 0 and it's Waterford FC 0. Superb display by Waterford in the opening 45 minutes. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with some guests, including Billy Costine and Paul Elliott.
You're listening to Friday Night Soccer, live on WLR.
Thanks to Clem Jacob Hire, your locally owned hire company.
Car insurance?
It's got to be Oliver Murphy Insurance, Gladstone House 50 The Quay, Waterford. For your competitive quote, drop in or telephone today on 051 841 766. That's 051 841 766.
Oliver Murphy Insurance Brokers Limited is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Listen up, here's the team. Right, teleporter, you're in goal. Digger, I need to entrench them in their own half. Can you do that?
Yes, Gaffer.
Roller, I need you out wide on the wing, flattening their defence. Hoisty, you're up front and make sure you get on the end of any high crosses. And Marquis, you're left back. Left back to set up after the match. Lads, settle down. This is it. We may be local, but we're better than any national team. Right, and one more thing. We don't want to go to extra time. Why? Because we always deliver on time.
Clem Jacob Hire, 6 Crossroads, Waterford. For all your plant gardening and event needs, you cannot beat your local hire company.
It's morning time, somewhere in Ireland. Maeve pours cereal into a bowl. Her wide-eyed children look at her expectantly. She goes to grab milk from the fridge, but there is no milk.
Oh no!
Dry cereal is not their idea of breakfast. They're ready to scream their little lungs out. But fear not, Maeve, we have the perfect solution. We are mymilkman.ie. We are local, we always deliver. Fresh milk on your doorstep at your convenience. Never run out of milk again. Find your local milkman at mymilkman.ie.
Imagine you're seeing your brand new kitchen for the first time. The hardwood floor. That island with the marble countertop. The window that seamlessly connects the space to the garden. Like how that sounds? Well, Permanent TSB could turn that like into a loan. In fact, you could get a loan of up to €75,000 in branch. We can make it happen at Permanent TSB. Drop in to any of our Waterford branches today. Lending criteria, terms and conditions apply, subject to affordability assessment. Security may be required. Minimum loan amount €1,500 and maximum €75,000. Minimum term 6 months to maximum 10 years dependent on loan purpose. Permanent TSB PLC is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
You're listening to Friday Night Soccer, live on WLR.
Thanks to Clem Jacob Hire, your locally owned hire company.
And yes, you're very welcome back to Richmond Park here in Inchicore in Dublin. It is Friday Night Soccer live on WLR, all thanks to Clem Jacob Hire, a proud Waterford company. Matt Keane has just gone down to take a little bit of a breather at half time. He's gone to get a cup of tea, well earned I think, joined by Billy Costine now. Adrian Flanagan and Paul Elliott are making their way up, but Billy, your thoughts on the opening 45? Lively affair, goalless at the break. Your assessment on the opening 45?
Well, I'd have to say Waterford have given a very good account of themselves, and no score. Okay, Kevin O'Connor was unlucky with the 2 chances he got in the first half. He just got under the balls more or less instead of getting them, being level with the header when they came in. But having said all that, your man Jamie Lennon hit an outstanding shot midway through the first half, and I really thought he was going to nestle in the top corner, but it didn't. But Pats look very dangerous on the break.
Absolutely. Adrian Flanagan, Waterford News and Star. Lively opening 45. Your assessment of it, Adrian?
Yeah, it's been an interesting 45, Gavin. I think, if you're going to be honest about it, both teams could be down to 10 men. That's how explosive the game actually started. I thought I give credit to Sean Grant. It's the first game of the season. I thought the first tackle from Jamie Lennon was a red card, and you couldn't really argue if we had to show a red card to Scott Allardyce either. But I have to say, the 2 lads from Reading have been outstanding in that first half. When you consider the fact that they've only arrived into the club in the last couple of days, they've looked composed there. I don't know what Billy, I didn't hear Billy's analyst there, but I thought the 2 of them looked really composed. The 2 lads from Reading, Akin and Andrew Burley. But in fairness, Michael O'Connor has a superb chance from the header. I think he has to score. But then again, I thought we've done really well. But in the last 15 minutes of that first half, maybe just invited St. Pat's onto us, and Brian nearly got caught.
He nearly got caught. Yeah, it was a spectacular effort. We'll bring Paul Elliott in as well. Paul, lively opening 45, but chances at both ends.
Well, I couldn't believe the pace of the first half was incredible. The match started off like a rocket, but both teams going at it straight from the kick-off. I thought Waterford's attitude was brilliant coming up here. They got after Pats, never left them settle on the ball. So you can't give Robbie Benson time on the ball in the middle of the field. Rennie knew that, got close to him, tightened him up. Adrian is dead right. On the turn of the half hour, we seem to, whether it's through the effort we put in early in the game or not, but we certainly stood off the pace and allowed them a little bit more time. Michael O'Connor should have scored the header. It was a clean header. But very impressed with the 2 centre backs. The pace the 2 possess means that they can push 25-30 yards from goal and have the pace to get back if anybody's caught out. Very impressed with Waterford in the first half an hour. Went off at the pace a bit in the last 15, but they are coming up here. They're the home team. They're going to push on. They're going to threaten you. So you have to expect that. We've got to take a chance when it comes along. Thought Michael had a great chance. It was on his head and he was 10, 15, 12 yards out. Pity, could have scored. But great support again for the Blues. Some crowd up here again following Waterford. And I think that announcement the other day really captured what the club is all about. People need to support the team, not individuals. It's all about the club. It's all about everybody supporting the club. And the atmosphere, I'm down at that end with the Waterford crowd.
Electric, I'd say.
Brilliant. Some of the chances that are coming out with are fantastic. But again, I'd agree with Adrian. We dropped off the pace the last 15 minutes. It is expected. They are the home team. But well in the game and playing very well.
Absolutely, great stuff indeed. Billy, to bring you back in before we go back to Adrian. As you say, every team I suppose will have their spell of dominance, and Pats are dangerous on the break, but as you say, Waterford with that chance from O'Connor, I suppose when you come up to grounds like Richmond Park, you have to be able to take those chances as well.
Yeah, but looking at the team, even the way it's laid out there, we're not going to be high-scoring team this season. It doesn't look like that. We're going to be defensively strong and midfield strong. But the 2 lads from Reading are after being outstanding. I mean, fair play to John O'Shea and over the 2 of these guys, because
very composed, Billy, back there as well, aren't they? Really composed.
I can see these 2 guys in the team for the rest of the season. They're cool, personified on the ball. Like, they're excellent, but the work that Waterford are putting in fully deserved to where they be at half time. They were not behind and were well in the game. It's just a case of getting a chance, but as Paul said, you have to kind of take it when you get it,
Absolutely, yeah. Adrian, work rate, energy. It's in this Waterford. It's in both sets of teams. But they're not shying away from Matten in that opening 45.
Well, it was incredible. I agree with Paul. The opening 30 minutes, but it was going to be near impossible for us to keep that tempo up for that amount of time. Our high press, our energy levels as the 2. But the 2 lads have so impressed me. Like, considering I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but considering they only arrived here Monday, they haven't played any pre-season with him. They're only meeting the squad. They're playing like season pros out there. But I suppose that's the other side that we must give Alan Reynolds credit. We have to give him credit. He hasn't got enough credit in my view. When you look at the amount of players that he brought in, high quality young players that want to do well. And the problem is we've had merchants that come to Waterford over the last number of years, or not the last number of years, in the past history. It's well documented. And they don't care. But you can see the energy levels of Ali Coote in midfield. And Matty Smith is a pest up front. He's causing Desmond and them enormous amount of problems. He wants to win the ball, and there's a lot of energy in it. And look, we're nitpicking maybe on the last 15 minutes, because I'm actually very surprised how the opening half an hour went, if I'm going to be honest. That wasn't typical Waterford and St. Pat's. That opening half an hour, we've come up here in the fact that the two teams have sat back and everything, but the atmosphere created by both teams, like, we have about 600 fans here, but St. Pat's have just, like, the atmosphere here, it really does feel like a real good game, and they've got it. The tempo in the opening 30 minutes has been extraordinary.
Absolutely, yeah. For a goalless half time, I suppose, for a 0-0 the opening 45, Adrian said it there, it's that the fans are kind of in the crowd, they're out the pitch.
Game.
Great game, like,
it's
absolutely.
Game. It really is end-to-end stuff. A lot of the ball in the air, but look, this is League of Ireland football, and that's why fellas asked me coming up with Darragh Power player said he won't. This is League of Ireland football. This is tough going.
There's no one shying away from tackles either, is there?
You need experience, and we have it. And Adrian said we have it, but we have young, good talent as well, and we're eager to play. And the last thing I'd say is, to be fair to St. Pat's, lovely tribute to Kenny Brown before the match. Very nice touch of him, and all the Waterford crowd, and Kenny went down to the Waterford fans as well. Nice, because he was a great player, Kenny, and it's right that two clubs pay tribute to.
Yeah, absolutely, Adrian. I'm sure you'll echo those sentiments there, and Kenny, brilliant to see him being honoured here tonight as well.
That's absolutely brilliant, and his contribution to putting Waterford football on the map at League of Ireland level should never be understated or underestimated. He's done it with every club he went to, whether it be Sporting Fingal at European level, up here at St. Patrick's Athletic, down in Cork. But we were at Billy's book launch last night,
yes,
and we were talking about the lack of experience in the Waterford team. We were up with the great Alfie Hale and Paul Morrissey up there after the book launch last night in Alfie's, and we were saying the lack of experience. And I'm just looking, we were saying probably our most experienced player was Graham Cummins, and he's on the bench. He played all the pre-season. The two lads come in, and your most experienced player is on the bench, and I would not be surprised in this second half if we see number 20 Graham Cummins come on, and he's not centre half, he's centre forward.
Absolutely, yeah. Billy, your thoughts on that there?
Yeah, I'd agree with Adrian there. Graham Cummins, we all thought he was going to end up playing in a defensive position, but as things turned out, with these two guys from Reading coming in and Sam Bone going full back, we don't have the luxury of playing Graham Cummins up front, where it was his natural position,
Absolutely. Your final thoughts on it, I suppose, lads, before the start of the second half. Great to see the young players here as well tonight. It's one of these, isn't it, Paul? It's a great thought, isn't it?
St. Pat's are very good at this. They're a real community club. Touching back on Adrian said about Graham Cummins.
Yes.
I was down in Youghal at the Cove game, and Michael O'Connor going to be sent off in the first half. He put in another tackle coming up to half time, Rennie whipped him off, and the first fellow over to him was Cummins, and he was in his ear and telling him how good he is, and so they made him captain tonight, which is to say to him, look, you have to take responsibility here, and having Cummins on the bench in case Michael gets out of hand, you can make the switch centre forward for centre forward. So I don't think Cummins on the bench is a big statement. It's just that it is a statement to O'Connor. Absolutely. That if you don't do your stuff, we have a ready-grade replacement. And it's good out of Rennie, and Rennie's very experienced manager, and he knows the players inside out. And he's sending a message out to Michael O'Connor: you get us goals and stay on the pitch. Be the player you can be.
Yeah, do what you can do.
And if you don't, Cummins is in.
Absolutely. I suppose that's what Reynolds will bring to do. He's very experienced manager. Thanks to Paul and Adrian there. Final word to Billy as Matt makes his way back in. It's a very lively, it's a great opener to the league, as I suppose, Billy. Look, everyone is intrigued at the start of the season how it goes. It's a new look Waterford squad, but they're acquitting themselves very well.
Fantastic to be back in Friday night's football, Gavin. It's just a feeling, the buzz.
We'll throw to Paul Elliott, who's capturing some great images here tonight. We'll give him back to camera. Thanks to Paul and Adrian there as well. Thanks very much, lads. Sorry, Billy.
Yeah, no, the atmosphere around the ground and everything is fantastic to be back with Friday night's football. But I have to say, Gavin, for the game at no score, it's not half entertaining.
It certainly isn't. And you can't fault either team. They're both going at it, Billy. There's no one holding back. It's end-to-end stuff. Both sets, I suppose, of supporters as well are really getting into it as well, and it's a cracking game. Can you see goals in it? Will this finish scoreless? Would you be surprised?
Well, I still think it's all about the first goal, Gavin. At the end of the day, whoever gets it is going to have a big advantage, because they probably mightn't go looking for the second one. It'll be a case of hanging on to what you have, so it's all about whoever gets the breakthrough. But Waterford are certainly in this game and by no means out of it.
Absolutely. And before the teams come back out, Billy, we must say congratulations on your own book launch as well, My Chinese Experience. I know you heard your piece with Damien as well during the week. I know you had a great night in the Granville last night, and you certainly made the most of it after that as well. But congrats on the book again.
Yeah, but it's on sale in the book centre in Waterford. It'll be in Wexford and Kilkenny. I've got to go around the country within the next few days, so excellent read for anybody who wants to buy it,
Look forward to it. Many thanks, Billy, for that. We might give the headphones back to Matt Keane there. That's Billy Costine and Adrian Flanagan, along with Paul Elliott, our expert team. The lads, of course, have great knowledge and great passion of football. Always great to get their views at half time, and certainly so again tonight. Goalless here, of course, at the break in Inchicore, as the Waterford hurling team is in there for tomorrow. We'll give you that. Indeed, it's just come through there, courtesy of Matt, who's recovered from his half-time breather there. We had to get him a drop of water. Excellent commentary, great to be part of the commentary team here tonight. So Waterford and Limerick tomorrow night. Stephen O'Keefe of Ballygunner is between the posts, the full back line. Shane Fives of Torin, Conor Prunty of Abbeyside, the joint captain, and Shane McNulty of De La Salle, Iveracahar. The half back line is Caleb Lyons of Ballydufflower, Irla Daly of Lismore. Best luck to his brother Corrock, who lines out with CBC tomorrow, and Kevin Moore. Conor Gleeson and Pádraig Mahoney team up at centre field. Neil Montgomery, who of course won a Sigerson medal, a Fitzgibbon medal I should say, with UCC during the week. Jake Dillon of De La Salle and his clubmate Jack Fagan. And the full forward line then for the Daysha hurlers tomorrow night: Jack Prendergast, Lismore, Stephen Bennett, Ballysaggart, and Patrick Kern of Dungarvan. That's live from the Gaelic grounds tomorrow evening. So interesting team. Thanks for that, Matt. And
I got the breaking news because I'm a member of Club Daysha.
Well, you won't forget that. Sure, look, you've got that's what the fee, the €30 fee was for. So. And another message back in from Frank Ryan, just slagging us as well, saying he's enjoyed the commentary, to say, well, but sure, you're after forking out your money for Club Daysha. I'm doing my bit, I suppose, for the under 20s and that. Like, I know Frankie's involved with the seniors, so I mean, you can't please everyone, can you?
You can't please them all. I got my little grandson to be a mascot on one of these hurling matches. And
absolutely, it'd be great to watch, absolutely.
During the season, join Club Daysha, €30 for the year.
I'd like to thank them, of course, as well, who support all inter-county teams. And of course the first team into championship action, Matt, is my own under 20 crew. We're up in Milltown Malbay and Clare next Wednesday, working hard behind the scenes. I know we'll chat a bit about that in the second half, so want to wish the lads the very best of luck Wednesday. Hopefully we can repeat that famous victory from last year.
Yeah, we wish you the very best of luck. What a journey on a Wednesday night, though.
God
God help you. Play on the way back here again now, of course. St. Patrick's and Eddie playing from left to right into the old shed end. As we said earlier on, the old stand, the old roof on that stand has been torn down, so it's just a derelict building over there, steps. So if you could put a few seats into it, make it.
Yeah, it's a pity, isn't it? It's empty, isn't it? Like, yeah.
But I was speaking to a lot of the Waterford supporters there at half time. Absolutely thrilled they are with the display of Waterford so far. And especially the two new guys from
Reading. They've really,
as I'm saying, they've been playing together since kids, and they started playing together at the age of 13, and they're still only youngsters, I suppose, 18 or something, but they played so very, very well indeed. And a lot of them say, we all thought that Graham Cummins maybe in the centre of defence, but when you can allow a man of his experience on the bench,
it just goes to show, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. And brave call, well, Reynolds, the boys said it there at half time. Absolutely amazed with I suppose, they're willing to, I suppose, talking to one another, telling each other what's going on, and not afraid, I suppose, Matt, to break down the Pats' attacks as well. Really composed display so far.
Yeah. And Allardyce having a good game, of course. He put in that horrendous tackle earlier on, but look, he's supposed to be on the pitch, but he's doing very well. Allardyce.
Yeah, it was interesting there from Adrian at half time. He looked at it and he was right up close pitch side. When he looked at it, he said, in fairness, Sean Grant, they could have been, maybe if that was another stage of the season, Matt, they could have easily been 2 red cards, but a bit of, I suppose, composure and maybe leniency from the referee in this league opener.
Yeah, and it was early doors. No goal scored actually yet in any of the games here.
It's amazing,
isn't
it?
Premier League, yeah. So who's going to be the first team to score? Wouldn't it be great if Waterford were the first team to score in the 2020 Premier League? But it's St. Patrick's Athletic on the attack over there on the far side. But they've lost control of it, and it's going to be a goal kick. Brian Murphy just jogging over there in his fluorescent green outfit and his yellow boots, orange boots.
Yeah, he's in Noro, absolutely. Yeah, both sets of teams aren't certainly short of the colour, and the boots is a bit of red, yellow, and say the orange and white ones as well, kind of stand out boots here.
It's going to be a special year, of course, for Brian, his lovely wife, due to give birth to their first little bundle of joy in the month of June.
Great stuff, yeah. Hope all goes well on that front.
Yeah. Of course, Johnny's dad, steeped in the J, of course. He's listening back in Waterford also. I
great
tell you,
stuff,
Brian is doing very well indeed, Johnny. And of course, Johnny's wife travelled to Ipswich with him a couple of times.
Absolutely, Minnie's over to Portman Road, of course. I do look over. It'd be nice to see Sunderland and Ipswich getting out of League One, wouldn't it, eventually, for you know.
I couldn't care less about Sunderland.
That's an awful statement. We need the Black Cats back up and get Leeds back up to the Premier League, Matt, and get Sunderland back up to the Championship.
Leeds are wobbling, but I mean, they got a point in, and I think
they did. Wouldn't they break your heart though, trying to follow him, wouldn't they? You know?
It's got pass back. Matty Smith plays it back.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Goal for Waterford, Kevin O'Connor.
What a goal!
Matty Smith plays the ball back to Kevin O'Connor. Waterford have taken the lead. 49 minutes.
Unbelievable finish there, man. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. Slacking the St. Pat's defence. Played around by Smith. Showed great composure. He could have shot from the keeper. Played it back to O'Connor and he tucks it into the net. Absolutely brilliant finish. And a rapturous cheer from the Waterford FC supporters there. For a couple of minutes into the second half, the Blues have the lead here in Richmond Park. We said the first goal is going to be crucial. What a goal. What a time to get it.
What a pull back there from Matty Smith. Absolutely brilliant. From the right end line, he puts it back and he looked up and then he saw Kevin O'Connor was free in the box, and Kevin made no mistake about it. What a start in the second half for Waterford. First team to score in the Premier League. 2020.
We're alive and kicking out. Great finish by O'Connor. Great pullback by Smith, as you say. Great composure around the keeper, and certainly great time to get it, as you say, and brilliant finish as well. Really tucked it in. Keeper was scrambling back. Brendan Clark, he was on his backside because all he was doing was picking the ball out of the net. Blues in front. Great goal. Throw on the far side now to St. Pat's. They'll certainly be rocked by that, man. But wow, we just said it at half time, you know. First goal going to be crucial. A couple of minutes into the second half.
Absolutely crucial.
What a time to get it.
Well, we're saying it, you know, whoever score late on in the first half. But let's hope now Waterford can build on this. What are they going to do? Are they going to consolidate, or will they go for the killer? We won twice up here last year. Are we going to do it once again?
I think with the likes of O'Connor and the break, you know, you have to kind of be. Look, I know you will be cautious as well. Just this next couple of minutes will be crucial now, just to kind of, you know, hold on to that ball, not leave Pat spill, because I suppose every team will have their spell of dominance, Matt, and it's a disastrous time to concede, but what a great time to score as well. Brilliant finish.
Yeah, we said earlier on, like, you have to take the chances when they come, and that came that time. And
Matt.
Here comes St. Patrick's on the attack again.
Great save.
Brian Murphy. Fantastic save there from Clem by Brian Murphy. Got down superbly well. Luke McNally it was actually pretending to play the ball, and Luke McNally had the shot, and Brian Murphy did brilliantly to get down there. Showing his absolute class, of course. Played at every possible grade for the Republic of Ireland, apart from full level. He was in the full panel, of course, on numerous occasions, but showed his international class there. Brian Murphy saving from Luke McNally. What an incredible start in the second half. 52 minutes gone. St. Patrick's Athletic 0, Waterford FC 0. Kevin O'Connor with a goal, and now a brilliant save by Brian Murphy. Here comes St. Patrick's Athletic on the attack again. This game is played at a blistering pace. Really is incredible stuff. Ferocious pace here. Two teams are doing the League of Ireland proud. Waterford, the first team to score in the Premier League 2020. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's a nice note, isn't it? When you know, it's a nice ring to it, Matt.
Nice one there for Kevin O'Connor, also the first player to score in the Premier League for the 2020 season. Kevin O'Connor, of course, you know, back with his second spell with the Blues, went off to play with Cork City. He's on loan at the moment from Preston. Well, what a capture that's been for Kevin O'Connor, a Wexford native, of course, from the banks of the Slaney down there.
Yeah, Slaney side, of course, absolutely. But brilliant composure as well. And, you know, I know the St. Pat's defence, it was an error, but in fairness to Waterford, showed great composure to play it back there. Matty Smith, as I say, the boys alluded to that at half time, absolutely working his socks off there up front, chasing down every ball. And O'Connor then with the composure, just to place the ball, slide it into the net, didn't rush it or went to blast it. Really cool, calm and collective finish, and great start to the second half, but crucial save by Murphy at the other end as well.
53 minutes gone on the clock here, and Waterford on the attack again. This time out, there's some bad passing there by St. Patrick's Athletic, but Brendan Clark, the experienced St. Pat's goalkeeper, comes out of his area, balloons it up the field. But Waterford on in the possession again in the centre circle there at that time, with Scott Allardyce headed the ball forward, but it's picked up by Jimmy Lennon. Jimmy Lennon trying to play the ball forward up there to.
And again, he went down very easy there, Matt, or Dean Clark. In fairness, the way Sean Grant is a fit, he's not going to give them, you know, frees are going to be hard earned tonight, but he's leaving it flow, and it's certainly, that's kind of paying dividends, I suppose, to the pace and the freedom of the game as well, you know.
So Kevin O'Connor in the record books, first player to score a goal in the Electricity Premier League for 2020 season, and that means that Waterford lead the Super Saints 1-0 here. 54 minutes on the clock. St. Patrick's Athletic coming forward again, trying to get back on level terms in this cracking game up here in Richmond Park. Jamie Lennon plays the ball out to Roddy Feeny plays it forward, dangerous ball into the box. Brian Murphy read it well, came out. Unfortunately the ball that time went over the head of Andre Burley. Ward was loose in the half, but Brian Murphy was alert to the situation, came quickly off his line and gets it up into the other end of the pitch. It's St. Valentine's night, of course, and I think it's fair to say the huge travelling support of Waterford here. They've already fallen in love with this new Waterford team.
Pardon the pun. Absolutely, yeah, they certainly have indeed. So far, so good, man. 53 minutes, and
here comes St. Patrick's Gillette again. Birmingham is up there, the captain. He's,
well defended.
What he's doing up there, I think he was not moving in from his full back position, and that's why he's a full back, but he failed to control it. But St. Patrick's still have it over on the
good defending with Boney. He's played really well, Matt Sam Bone.
Brilliant game, yeah. Because when Billy King gets the ball, he looks dangerous. Like Sam Bone has closed him down at every possible opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. And when Waterford just get that ball, have to just maybe be careful playing it. Sometimes they're gifting possession back to Pats too easy. Just maybe have to hang on to that ball a little bit more and just get it down the field rather than just hoofing it, because Pats, when they break at pace, quite dangerous as well, as we've seen that in the opening half. And both teams
they had two golden patches really in the first half, but thankfully we kept them at bay, which is good news. But they're a nice passing team, St. Patrick's Athletic.
They are, in fairness,
you know, they're knocking it around nicely, but Waterford are willing to knock it around themselves. Kevin O'Connor there in for a tackle, but he loses out this time. In that one to Robbie Benson. Robbie Benson is playing that ball forward to
that's brilliant defending, Matt, there.
Brilliant defending again.
It's Burley again,
brilliant. These two lads are incredible. You think
incredible.
They were playing, you know, I was
going to say, you think they're together
on their life.
Absolutely. Understanding there, the composure there, just to shepherd him out, and kept his eye on the ball as well. Knew that Watford were going to get the goal kick. Really, really composed.
These two lads, you know, they've never been in Ireland until last Monday.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's only 4 or 5 days ago.
Absolutely, yeah. Brave call by Reynolds as well, but obviously it's paying dividends, Matt, you know. First sub of the night, I believe, underneath us.
Yeah, Chris Forrester is coming on for St. Patrick's Athletic. Chris Forrester is coming on, and Jay McLennan has gone off, and that's substitute on 56 minutes. Yeah, 56 minutes. Forrester, who of course not one of the new players here in St. Pat's, he's been here for a season or two. Good operator also, but he's into the action now. So the manager, Alan Matthews, and Stevie O'Donnell heads together, decided to make a change to see can St. Pat's get into this game or get the equaliser. They're still very much in the game, but they're losing 1-0 to Waterford. 56 minutes gone. St. Patrick's Athletic 0, Waterford FC 1. You listen to live commentary on WLR. Many thanks to Clem Jacob Hire, a proud Waterford company. We had two fantastic nights here last year. Ray Scott was sitting with you, and we went home very, very happy. I just hope you're going to be as happy tonight. Would it be fantastic?
Absolutely, yeah.
And the banks to Liffey, Gavin.
Certainly would, Matt. Yeah, be an enjoyable journey home with 3 points, wouldn't it, on this Valentine's night, opening game of the season. Always nice to start any campaign, I suppose, with a win. But look, we won't speak too soon.
Yeah,
56 minutes
gone.
Long way to go.
Yeah, long way to go. But it's a case of so far, so good. Of course, Waterford breaking the deadlock early in the second half. Kevin O'Connor with the very first goal of the Electricity Premier League for season 2020.
Yeah, see Alan Reynolds underneath us there. No doubt he'd be delighted there. The assistant there, really, really happy with the Waterford's display, and I suppose their attitude so far, absolutely top notch, man.
Nice movement to get here from Waterford now in the middle of the field, and some beautiful play there by Ali Coote. He's really impressed me tonight. So many players have impressed everybody here, not only me but everybody else. And great to see Matty Smith. You know, he kind of drifted out of the game a little bit in the first half, but my God, he burst onto the scene then, pulling that ball back for Kevin O'Connor to give the Blues the lead. 48 minutes, 1-0. Here come Waterford on the attack again. It's Coote off down the left hand side, and it's cut out that time by Luke McNally, the St. Patrick's defender. So St. Pat's and Tyke Wilson that time whips the ball into the penalty area, but
no one really around there. It could maybe push. That's good tackle and a good work O'Connor there, nearly winning it back.
Yeah, Michael O'Connor was a little bit slow, I thought, that time, trying to get into the penalty area. Speaking to Jack Power there at half time, of course, Lee Power's son, and he was saying that he was extremely happy with the way things are going, and I know that his dad Lee, the man who's made all this possible, he's very happy also with the first half performance. Sure, they're absolutely overjoyed at the moment. Here comes St. Patrick's and Eddie on the attack for
well defended.
Well defended that time. Scott Allardyce got back that time. There's Billy King charging through that time, but Allardyce got back to clear the danger. They're putting in some shift here. The Waterford lads are going to be very, very tired in the morning.
Oh, they certainly will, man. I'd say that.
Yeah,
Physios will be busy tomorrow. It's
cold bats, is that what you do?
Ice bats.
Ice bats, yeah. St. Patrick's now relentless in their pursuit of the equaliser. Rory Feely speeding for the penalty.
Definitely. He's not going to get it. There's a large.
Brian Murphy is incensed also with the antics of Rory Feely. He went down there looking for the penalty, and both teams now.
Yeah, and I think Feely is going to get booked for his aggression shown towards the referee there. Adrian is over there. He's looking at it. It definitely looked like a stonewall penalty, though, Matt. To be fair,
I don't think so. I think he did a little bit of he hammed it up a little bit. I think, but Brian Murphy was incensed. He was incensed, and he ran. Yellow card for Feely for simulation.
Yeah, I suppose you could take. I just maybe thought the angle maybe that looked like he was clipped, but maybe he did make the most of it. Waterford player genuinely trying to win the ball. Sean Grant, in fairness, he had a good view of it. He was well up in the play.
Well placed, yeah.
In fairness,
he
called it.
To St. Pat's.
Alan Matthews was out of his dugout though, Matt, straight away. Fourth official certainly is. You've often alluded to Gavin Colfer is getting a fair earful of it on the line there.
Brian Murphy was incensed, and he was supported by his colleagues also with Feely's. Actually said the ball is whipped in for the corner kick, and it's cleared this time by Sam Bowen. No, it's not. It's out for a corner kick again.
Yeah, round 2.
Yeah, no idea who's taking it because I think it's King, is it? I'm there's such a crowd here, and the press.
It is Billy King. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. I may as well stay standing for a minute, man.
You stay standing. He whips it in.
Great save! What a save!
Oh, what a save, Brian Murphy.
Luke McNally with the header, Matt. Oh, this is dangerous. Waterford. Oh, what a brilliant. Still have to clear the lines though, Matt. It's not clear.
Here comes St. Patrick's and Eddie on the attack. What a save from Brian Murphy.
Unbelievable.
Billy King whipped in the corner kick, and McNally got a hit to it. How Brian Murphy got to it is beyond me. He defied the law of graphics there. What did we?
And how did he even see it as well? Because there was a deluge of bodies in front of him there. And got a good strong hand to it, put it out another corner. This is a big spell though, Matt, for Pats. They're really putting under pressure, and if Waterford will have to kind of, I suppose, see out this. We've just hit the 60-minute mark. Danger! Ooh, and again Murphy to the rescue there. That's great. Brilliant, brave goalkeeper. I think it's one of the central defenders coming out here, Matt, with the header there, but Murphy just cool, calm and collective.
What a save that game. It was a brilliant corner kick by Billy King, and McNally got a really powerful header. I don't think any goalkeeper in the league would have saved it, but Brian, he just
got the hand down,
got his right hand to it and pushed it away. Absolutely brilliant save. As we said, international goalkeeper showing his class again here for Waterford. Oh, this is incredible. 61 minutes gone. Waterford still leading St. Patrick's already by 1-0, but they're really under the cosh at the moment for St. Pat's.
They are, yeah, but they haven't backed down their own half now, Matt Sem, so Waterford just kind of push them down there, keep them down there for the next couple of minutes, try and regain that ball, I suppose. But as I said, the tempo and the pace of this game absolutely ferocious. Good position here now for the Blues, Matt.
There's Tyke Wilson on the ball. Let's say beats off 2 tackles.
Oh, well won.
Yeah, and he said Patrick's supporters not happy, but that definitely was a foul. 2 St. Patrick's. I don't want to complain about 2 St. Patrick's and Eddie players took Tyke Wilson out of the game.
Yeah, and it was a loose tackle as well. I know they're getting a bit incensed. They probably felt they should have had a penalty at the other end, but I think it was certainly a late tackle there, and referee, the ball had gone out, but I don't think the advantage had accrued, so he's back to the original foul. So I know it's not, sometimes you feel when you're at home and things aren't going your way, you're always going to, I suppose, question these decisions, aren't you?
25 yards out now. Who's going to take this one? Alistair Coote is standing over it. Kevin O'Connor is standing over it. So this has had to be worked out on the training ground the last couple of weeks.
Good position,
by Alan Rellens and the boys. Yeah, 25 yards out. I think it's Ali Coote is going to take it with his right foot. Here he comes. He does take it, but it's disappointing.
Yeah,
straight into the wall.
Yeah.
I don't like free kicks like that, because it's straight into the wall. It's kind of a waste, really. And here comes St. Patrick's and Eddie on the counter-attack. Rory Feely belting down the right flank this time. Oh, he plays it to Billy King. Billy King loses control. Andre Birdie does brilliantly well. Plays a lovely controlled ball this time. Out here just underneath us in the
and again
to Robbie McCourt.
Again, Feely is looking at Sean Gray. He feels that he's kind of maybe been, I would say, a target at that time he felt, but I thought he lost the ball fairly, and the way Pats are getting a bit frustrated, balls are kind of going astray there, but certainly Sean Grant is not earing himself to the home faithful here in Richmond Park tonight, Matt.
Well, just looking at the Brian Murphy, 2 brilliant saves, 51 and 60 minutes from Brian Murphy. He's keeping Waterford's lead intact.
He could be the man of the match, the reason Waterford get the victory here tonight.
Goalkeeper of the year, player of the year with Bohemians back in 2009. 10.
Offside, I think, Matt.
goalkeeper of the year he was before he headed back over across Channel.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what he's put into it, and testament to it really, man. And to come back and play for his beloved Waterford, that was always in the pipeline. We weren't quite sure whether it would happen or not. Now it is, and the way he's performing there tonight, performing heroics really, isn't he? It's unbelievable.
But it's great for the new players to have a goalkeeper of his class to play. As I said, these lads have only been in Ireland since Monday, and to have a goalkeeper of Brian Murphy's class, behind him, and he's urging them on and so on and so forth.
Absolutely unbelievable. I suppose brings a wealth of experience to the whole thing here in Dublin tonight. Just to tell you, across channel as well, it is second half has just kicked off over there in Molyneux. It's Wolves 0, Leicester City 0, Hull City and Swansea City. Cracking game in the English Championship, 2 apiece there. And elsewhere in the Airtricity League Premier tonight on the opening night of the season, just the one goal so far to report. That is here at Richmond Park. Waterford leading Pats. It's half time, of course. Finn Harps and Sligo is scoreless. It's Dundalk 0, Derry City 0, and Cork City and Shelburne scoreless down there on Leaside. So the only game of the evening remains here at Richmond Park, believe it or not.
Yeah, it certainly does indeed. We're going to go over to Billy Costin here for a quick word. Billy, what a second half. This is amazing.
When they got the goal, the place just erupted. It was just incredible, But fair play to Kevin O'Connor. Used all his experience, cool head, and just stroked it into the net from a bad defensive mistake. But as you said earlier, Matt, there a few minutes ago, Brian Murphy, the save was just outstanding. Full length. We all thought it was barely down the bottom corner. Got his hand to it and touched it around the post. Outstanding save. But I wouldn't like to see Waterford sitting back too much on the pass. They're certainly going to try push now to get back into this game and get the equaliser. But it's a case of standing firm from where the Blues are concerned. But the two Reading players are still holding their own, and we're after getting 2 fines in these two guys.
2 gems, absolutely indeed. That's Billy Costin, of course, and as we said earlier on, Billy's new book is in shops at the moment. My Chinese Experience. Get into the book centre wherever you are in Waterford tomorrow and buy it. It's a beautiful read, only €15. My Chinese Experience. A personal story of Billy Costin.
Get your hands on it, Jet. Wish him the best of luck with it, Matt. Great to chat with him there at half time.
66 minutes gone. It's St Patrick's and Leading 0. It's Waterford FC 1. Kevin O'Connor 48 minutes with the goal for the Blues. St Patrick's now trying to get on the attack once again here, trying to get back on level terms in this game. But Brian Murphy on fire. Ball breaks down this time to Scott Allardyce. Scott Allardyce unfortunately loses control. Going to be a counter attack from Waterford. But the ball has had to be whipped up to the other end altogether this time, and it's over on the far side there with Billy King. Billy King gets around. Sam Bowen gets a dangerous ball into the box, and it's headed over that time, I think, by Ryan Alley again. So another let off there for Waterford. But that header was never going to trouble Brian Murphy. But Brian Murphy is having a word or two with his defenders. He doesn't want players being left loose inside the penalty area like that. So he's just telling the lads, no, stay on your game, stay on your game. We don't want free headers like that.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. You have to be kind of prolific, especially in defence there, because Pat's any chance they'll take. Billy alluded to it there, Waterford can't really afford to sit back, but again, Murphy is there. He's marshalling that defence well, as I say, Matt, barking out the orders, and I suppose encouraging the younger guys as well brings a wealth of experience to the whole project, and he's going to be key this season, because I think looking at Waterford tonight, Matt, I know we've only just played 66 minutes, but defensively very, very organised, very, very structured. That'll certainly please Alan Reynolds and his management team.
Yeah, the substitutes being made now by St Patrick's and Eddie. We'll check it out very shortly. I think it's
looks like Ronan Hale, I think, Matt.
Ronan Hale is coming on, former Derry City player. He's going to be introduced into the action for St Patrick's and Eddie, but they're on the attack again over on the far side end there, and it's looking pretty dangerous again for Waterford. Dean Clark playing the ball in, but is headed away that time by Sam Bowen, who hasn't put a foot or a head wrong in this match. Absolutely superb, along with all the other players. The ball is whipped in again. Oh, a bit of a let off there. Bad miss by Billy King. The ball was whipped over by pretending Billy King was left loose, but he could have just stroked it with his left leg and well wide, never even worried.
Yeah, didn't really make a clean connection, more kind of a fresh air. Got a slight connection on the ball, as say left leg, but Brian Murphy pretty relieved. Probably had it covered anyway, but as I say, harmlessly and pretty tamely wide in the end. And I think there is that change, Matt, for Pat's Ronan Hale coming on for Jamie Lennon for the home team.
Yeah, Ronan Hale, a good player also. He played with Derry City, fine player. Causes a couple of problems last season.
They're not afraid to make Stevie O'Donnell. He's thrown caution to the wind, and anyone kind of, I suppose, look, they're bringing on fresh legs, I suppose, as well. That's a lovely bit of control there. Beautiful stuff there by Robbie McCourt. Very impressive with him as well, Matt, tonight.
Pretty good, yeah. Left full back. Steady player, doesn't do anything, out of the ordinary, but very, very solid indeed.
I see young Dara Power there about to take off. He's doing a good vigorous warm-up there, of course. Jono's son, of course, well known down there in Kilmac. I know we have a big listenership from Kilmac Thomas in tonight as well. Very, very proud of Dara. And he could see action before the end of the 90, Matt.
Absolutely. He won't let us down. Very
Certainly
fine
won't,
player indeed. There's more free porridge on the way to Gavin Whelan.
Good old Flavins there, big shot, exactly, yeah. Good do with it now, these Chris Cole mornings, man. Big crowd down there in Kilmac, yeah.
Have you any shame? Have you anything for free porridge?
We'd have loved to have him Wednesday night now, go to Milltown Malbay, but obviously Alan Reynolds nabbed him before we could, man. That's a great tackle, that's brilliant. Just doubled up on him there, didn't give away a free. Brilliant there between Allardyce and Bowen there.
So 69 minutes gone on the clock here, just a little over 20 minutes remaining here in Richmond Park. It's St. Patrick's Athletic 0, it's Waterford FC 1, the only goal of the game and the only goal of the season so far in the entire league, scored by Kevin O'Connor on 48 minutes when he tucked home a ball from the end line from Matty Smith. Kevin O'Connor, great to have him back again, of course. Nice career over there with Preston North End, won many honours with Cork City and everything, so and one of the really nice guys of football.
Yeah, really kind of down to earth, isn't he? Matt, I know you were
lovely guy,
chatting and out there and training during the week, and you were like, the atmosphere out there, they're all really getting it well, and what a win for this squad would really, really gel them even further together.
There's a free kick. Ali Coote whips it in and sent it clear that time by Lee Desmond. But a good free kick there by Ali Coote.
Yeah,
O'Connor. There hasn't been a weak link in this.
No, there hasn't, Matt. Absolutely. And in fairness to Reynolds, you'd be asking me, do you need? I don't think there's a need to make changes at the minute.
The only reason they wouldn't be, maybe could be tired.
Yes, tired, fatigue setting in, etc. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I just think
Tarek Wilson was kind of a doubt before the match with an ankle injury, but he's doing well out there. But they might get tired. Trying to hold on to this one.
He'd probably try and get to maybe the 80, Matt, and then maybe introduce a few fresh legs or something.
Run down the clock even, But Waterford on the attack again. Michael O'Connor getting very little service, as we said, in the second half. So here comes Dean Clark on the attack for St. Patrick's and Eddie.
It's a brilliant tackle.
Brilliant tackle. Absolutely.
Matthew Smith again.
Matthew Smith coming back there yet.
He's worked his socks off, man. Unbelievable.
Superb tackle for an attacking player to track back like that and take the ball off the pass player. Tyke Wilson plays the ball up forward, but unfortunately no one up front there. Kevin O'Connor's a little bit late getting onto the scene. But St. Patrick's now just playing a long ball that time, and Andre Burley, the new Waterford centre half, they just nodding that ball clear. You just wonder, I know it's early on, we've only played, what is it, 71 minutes?
That's right, yeah.
But have we got two cult figures on our hands again?
Well,
these two lads.
Definitely, absolutely.
We have to thank John O'Shea, of course, for sending them over from Reading Football Club.
Yeah, doing the negotiations there, of course, it's unbelievable, and they've just really grown into the game, rock solid in the back, haven't put a foot wrong all night. In fairness, I know there's still a bit to go, but dealt with everything very, very composed.
I hope John O'Shea won't be looking for the bag.
No, they're staying here now, John, I'm afraid, pal. Yeah, really, really positive start. But as I said, the work rate and the energy, ferocity out of Waterford, Matt, absolutely second. And Alan Reynolds must be really, really pleased. I know he was chatting to you during the week, and he was on about how proud he was to be in charge of this bunch. He said it mightn't be the most spectacular. Any team that works hard will always kind of, I suppose, be thereabouts. Waterford have shown that in abundance tonight, as well as work around, and they're all good players as well.
Yeah, and he made a good point, Waterford, one of the smallest budgets, and St. Patrick's Athletic right up there with the Dogs and
Carbon, chalk and cheese, chalk and cheese,
budgets, and you look out there, what's going on at the moment. So Waterford on with the possession again, but give it away that time inside our own half, with no real danger at the moment.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Beautiful football that time again. By Waterford, that's Robbie McCord. Robbie McCord is having some second half.
He's there's no quarter giving a rest here,
Ali Coote having a little bit of a shoving match, but he's got away with it there.
Reynolds and Feely there having I'd like to see what's.
Feely is really up for this, Roy. Feely is really up for it. I think he wants to put one over on his former.
Yeah, I'm sure Alan Reynolds wants to get one over on him.
Dodgy penalties and pushing Waterford players around the place.
This could be.
Here comes Michael O'Connor on the attack, but he's not good.
He needs to get there, will he? Oh, good
tackle. He does get it over on the far side. Michael O'Connor.
Corner kick, I'd say, is it?
And he's won. No, he hasn't won a corner kick. It's gone out. Oh my God, he had to run 25 yards there to try and get the better of it. I think it was Lee Desmond. He caught the ball, but unfortunately it came off Murphy's knee and went down for a goal kick. But a great burst of speed that time by Michael O'Connor.
That's the work rate they're putting into it, Matt. Absolutely, chasing down, chasing really lost causes. That's what Waterford are really putting into it tonight. For that alone, certainly deserved to still be in the 1-0 lead, of course, here in Richmond Park. But certainly Pats having their periods of dominance as well, and there's still a bit to go in this game. But as I say, both teams can't be faulted. No quarter given or rest.
It's a superb advertisement for League of Ireland. But at the start of the season, everybody's a little bit worried, and what's going to happen and so on and so forth. But this game is a credit to both teams. I think they've given it all. Every one of the players have given it 110%. Be it they're wearing the blue jersey or the red and white jersey.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, in fairness to both sets of teams,
St. Patrick's Athletic take a quick throw in this time. They're trying to put Dean Clark away on his bike. Dean Clark is beaten to the ball again, that time by Andre Burley, who just leaves the ball and run out over the line, and Brian Murphy issuing the instructions there. Reminds me Peter Thomas, what they do, he's issuing the instructions, but he leaves the ball behind him, and it's running down the seconds.
As if to say, get set and then recover then and kick it out.
Leave the ball behind you and give out the instructions, then go back for the ball. The late great Peter Thomas, not the late great Peter Thomas, he used to do that, just leave the ball behind, issuing instructions, and the seconds have been run down the whole time.
Absolutely. The attendance tonight here in Richmond Park is 2,807 here in Richmond Park, packed into Inchicore for this game. So many thanks to the lads next to us for that. So 2,000, just touching
just under 3,000.
Just under 3,000. Yeah, good crowd, good attendance, and very, very rapturous crowd as well. Because one of these grounds where the fans are really kind of in top of the players leads to a great atmosphere, and I'm sure the Waterford fans will be happy they've made the journey.
15 minutes remaining. Waterford still leading 1-0. That goal from Kevin O'Connor. Can they hold on now for the 15 minutes? Indeed, can they add to it, or will St. Patrick's Athletic equalise? Dean Clark on the ball, just underneath us here. Raise it back to Feely. Feely to Clark. Clark back to Feely. Plays the ball forward this time to Dean Clark, the guy who came in at the last minute for St. Patrick's Athletic. Clark gets the ball into the penalty area.
Good defending,
Sam Bowen and Brian Murphy both went to it, but I think Sam Bowen shouted, leave it, it's my ball, and he cleared it.
Yeah, good communication there, because Murph got down, but in fairness to Bowen, he was just content to get the ball clear and cleared it out of the danger zone. Not just kind of 10 yards out, just cleared it down to Pat's half of the field.
It down, but St. Patrick's Athletic now building slowly again, trying to get this equaliser as time runs down. 14 minutes remaining here. Waterford still leading by 1-0. First team to score a goal in the Premier League. Season 2020.
Absolutely, and still goalless in the other 3 games, Matt, believe it or not.
Patrick's Athletic again. There's attack after attack this time from Brian Murphy in action again now, tipping the ball over the crossbar from Billy King. A little bit of a chip shot there. Brian Murphy really well and tipped the ball over the crossbar, and it results in a corner kick for St. Patrick's Athletic.
Yeah, taking no chances there in fairness to Murphy, because it came off, I think it was Bowen got a leg to it, just pushing it behind, restructuring his defence now for the corner, and vital Matt Waterford can try and clear this at the earliest opportunity, not leave.
They haven't caused a lot of problems with their corner kick so far, so hopefully it's going to remain that way. The ball is whipped in.
Oh, great! Off the line,
sticking off the line, I think, by Tyrone Wilson. Got that ball off the line there, because the ball was whipped in up to the far post. I think it was McNally got his head on the ball, and Tyrone Wilson was on the line and just, got it clear. But it's a corner kick again now on this side of the field, the right hand side of the field, as we watch it here. The ball comes in, headed clear that time by Sam Bowen. Just intense pressure now from St. Patrick's.
Yeah, they're throwing everything at him,
to get this equaliser, but the ball is back onto the halfway line this time to Ian Birmingham. Ian Birmingham, the captain, wallops the ball into the penalty area.
Well cut out.
Headed clear. That's headed clear that time by Uddy Mayo. Well, another new player there.
It's what Waterford don't really need to do. Could have maybe showed more composure there. Very little chance for Kevin O'Connor. Just toothed out. Going to be a throw for St. Pat's. Rory Feely going to take this, but allowing them to build. As you said, that was very, really good defending there. And Waterford defence are certainly going to be busy for this for the last 10 minutes or so, Matt.
See Alan Reynolds and John Cotter, the assistant manager down there, talking, but no movement on the subs bench. There is on the St. Patrick's bench.
Yeah.
Some guy getting ready there. So this is their last throw of the dice. They've used 2 substitutes so far. So it's nervy times indeed for Alan Matthews and Stevie O'Donnell. St. Patrick's Athletic on the attack over on the far side again. This time Liam Birmingham, the captain, whips the ball in, but Andrew Burley does it brilliantly well this time.
And actually wins the goal kick as well.
He cleared it, and it came off of the St. Patrick's player who's giving out blue murder down there, but it came off the St. Patrick's player, so it's a goal kick to Waterford.
You just see saying he's getting the GPS tracking system
Brian
on
Murphy
first.
is now claiming the ball is missing. which it is. So this is great. He's running down more seconds. He has no ball to kick out.
Absolutely.
So,
that would be handy, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Yeah, one comes quickly out at the St. Patrick's dugout. I don't think Brian was too worried whether
no, he was in no hurry.
Ball or not.
It looks like James Duna is going to be the final substitution for Pats. No activity yet on the Waterford. I don't think there is a need on the Waterford bench yet. Reynolds and John Cotter.
No, be just tired this
very happy, aren't they? Absolutely, yeah. Maybe I think I got a shot there. Just looking down, looks like young Dara Power is going to come in. What a brilliant debut that would be. What a great opportunity. Of course, I know he played last year in the Scottish competition. Had a great game over there, and it's a brilliant moment for him and his family and all down there in Kilmac as well. Be really, really proud.
Yeah, Dara's going to come on indeed. So St. Patrick's let each other build and build again. They go in search of the equaliser, but the clock is against them at this stage. So we're going to have the two substitutions, James Duna for Pats and Dara Power for Waterford. Long range effort there from St. Patrick's and Eddie. Maybe, just maybe, they're getting a little bit, frantic and panicky at this stage.
Yeah, just see Ali Coote there just shouting into Even Murphy, telling him to just, take your time, Brian, in this kick out, build it back up slowly again. And so this is eating into the, eating down seconds as well, Matt.
That time of the match when you just keep looking at the clock.
Yeah.
Every second, it feels like a minute.
Absolutely.
They're on the attack again this time. Dean Clark charging down the right, but Clark Wilson gets over, gets the tackle in, and results in a throw in to St. Patrick's Athletic. St. Patrick's Athletic 0, Waterford FC 1. Substitutes are now being made.
Number 22, James Newman.
Yeah, James Duna comes on. I'm not too sure who went off.
Yeah, just see now who's coming off down here in front of us, and here is the moment, Matt. A huge moment for young Dara Power, of course, wearing 16, and he's going to be replacing the very hard working and the very diligent Matty Smith is making way, Matt. What a shift he's put in. Unbelievable, hasn't he?
He created a goal, of course, so he can have no complaints. Also, he's only here a short time either as well, so he looks a bit tired heading off, but good lad.
Dara will add a bit of legs and pace, won't he?
Yeah. Let's hope he had all that porridge this morning. He'll run his legs off for the last 10 minutes. So Waterford still leading by one goal. Here.
Well cut out there momentarily. Have to push
out. Robbie Benson shot. Saved easy enough there by Brian Murphy. Straight into the midriff of Brian Murphy. But, good and all as a player Robbie Benson is, I don't think he's going to beat Brian Murphy from that distance.
No, he wouldn't. And in fairness to Murphy, as I say, it was straight into him, caught that ball, secured it in the chest and rolled it out. And Waterford back on the... They have the ball back,
yeah.
Just need to show a bit, just keep that composure.
They're playing it back to Andrea Burley. Andrea Burley plays it back to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy kicks it up over the halfway line. Michael O'Connor adjusts to have pushed a St. Patrick's Athletic player.
Yeah, I think the flat. Okay, that's in the card there. First card for.
I think Scott Allardyce there. I think he was giving out about the.
I think he was actually might have been the linesman actually flagged, and he was giving out to him, and then the referee came over and just issued a free not taken from the correct position.
Kevin O'Connor got the booking actually. Yeah, it was Kevin O'Connor. I think he was claiming that Michael O'Connor was fouled, but it was the other way around.
I think before that now it was clearly there was a little bit of a good old-fashioned nudge, as they say, Matt, before that. Finn Harps have taken the lead up there in Ballybuffet. O'Sullivan after 56 minutes. Carlo Sullivan in the big Northwest Derby, so 56 on the clock. The lead is with Finn Harps against their rivals Sligo Rovers.
Screaming for a penalty again to St. Patrick's supporters here, but nothing given. I think St. Pat's players and indeed the supporters are getting a bit panicky here now as the clock running down just about 9 minutes of normal time remaining here. Waterford still leading by a goal to nil. St. Patrick's Athletic back on the attack again. All the Waterford defenders are back crowding out the St. Patrick's attack. This time it's a shot in. It's going to be
that'll do a goal kick, off his own man.
Yeah, King had the shot in there and it came off Rennie and out for a goal kick to Waterford. Brian Murphy then strolling out. No ball boys or ball kids as they call them.
Yeah, unusual, isn't it?
It's such a small ground, I suppose you don't really need them. So just handy Brian just had to run over to the corner flag and strolling back. No particular hurry coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't beat experience.
Can't beat experience. Wiley old fox, as
no
they say.
hurry whatsoever to kick this out now. Just issuing instructions. So he's going to get this halfway inside the St. Patrick's Athletic half the feet. Here it comes. Brian Murphy with his right leg, and that's exactly where it ends. Michael O'Connor jumping for it, loses out that time to Lee Desmond.
I thought that scene actually shoving the back above, but the referee didn't give it, and St. Pat's have the throw They're throwing everything at it, man. In fairness, they're really kind of they're going for it now.
Certainly are indeed. We're also thankful to Brian Murphy's brilliant save, 51 and on the hour mark. Will he be called into action again? Here come St. Patrick's Athletic again on the attack. They're really putting Waterford to the sword at the moment. The Waterford defence are playing so very, very well. It's absolutely beautiful to watch this Waterford team defending. You know, we always talk about attacking players, but
brilliant.
you know, you have to give it. You know.
Oh, another stunner from Murphy. Brilliant save, and it's Jay
Jay McLennan.
Is it?
No, he's gone off. Yeah. Brilliant save.
Try and bring you who that was now.
Chris Forrester.
Forrester,
Chris Forrester, yeah. Brilliant save again by Brian Murphy. That's 3 world-class saves, this time from Forrester, substitute Chris Forrester.
Forrester, with the shot, the
Brian
delivery.
Murphy this time punches clear the corner kick. 7 minutes left here. Waterford still leading by a goal today. 3 world-class saves by Brian Murphy in the course of the second half. The only goal of the game scored by Kevin O'Connor. It's attack after attack from St. Patrick's and then get them on. They're coming again.
Oh, brilliant!
And a breakaway. Brilliant stuff there by. Is it Allardyce? He's gone down injured.
Yeah, I know Pat's not happy with that, but in fairness, the ball was won, and I think just say he pulled up, but he kind of tweaked his quad muscle there, his calf muscle, and I'm sure this will be winding valuable. But again, the heroics of Brian Murphy in the goal, man, absolutely second to none tonight. Really, really keeping Waterford in this game. I see they're getting kind of water into the boys. You can see they're coming over there. Burley is absolutely, the shift they've put in. It's like a little bit of a picnic time here for Waterford. They can't really do well in this, but say testament to the shift they've put in. I see John Cotter in there just handing them bottles of water and.
Yeah, it's an incredible performance by Waterford. A team that never played before. 8 guys making their debuts in the blue shirts. It's been amazing. They look like a team that have been playing together all season, and it's only the first game of the season. So it's been quite extraordinary. It really has been an incredible performance by Waterford. We walk away here with 3 points.
Oh, it will be massive. Be serious.
What a crowd is going to be in the RSC next Friday.
Absolutely, yeah. For the visit, of course.
Match, of course, when
of Bowes, of course,
will be unveiling their new cardiac care for the South East. 24/7. We need it in the South East, and of course Bohemians will have the Amnesty International, welcoming the refugees to Ireland. So it's going to be so special. It's going to get national attention out there in the RSC. And what a crowd! If Waterford can just hold on, they've got 4 minutes of normal time to hold on here. You will have time added on, of course, for substitutes, but to walk away again from Inchicore with 3 points, incredible it would be.
See, Ray, a bit of confusion there with Ali Kute there. He was kind of off the field and he was back on in the 4th division, and Reynolds was telling him get on. The 4th division was telling him not, but either way, he's back at Waterford, back to the restored to 11 players. But as I say, Pat's really piling on the pressure, Matt, heading down the home straight.
James Doonan.
Oh, well cut out.
James Doonan and the other guy, Forrester.
Good feet by O'Connor.
Michael O'Connor plays the ball forward to Tyke Wilson. Oh, surely he was taken down.
Look, definitely in the back anyway.
There's no way he was taken down there. He was taken down. The referee whiz play on. Here come Waterford on the attack again. Ali Coote plays it forward to Michael O'Connor. Michael O'Connor loses out that time.
That's very tense. He has to.
That's out handy enough that time. He had to do a little bit better than that.
Yeah, he just needs to be a little bit stronger, Matt, on the ball there. Gave it away. Just has to work back a little bit more as well.
St. Patrick's Athletic on the attack now. They're in the penalty area there too. McClendon Walters in. It's taken away brilliantly that time by Uddy Mayo, one of the new players on loan from Reading. He did brilliantly well. He read it well again. Now Michael O'Connor's totally on his own up there. Waterford, I think, are just settling in now with just about 3.5 minutes of normal time for the 3 points. That's the way it's looking, because Michael O'Connor's definitely playing a lone furrow up there on his own at the present time. But Brian Murphy, 3 incredible world-class saves in the course of the second half.
Certainly worth the admission fee alone, as they say, Matt.
Certainly was. He'll be giving out, the papers do 10 out of 10 and 9 out of 10 and 8 out of 10. Here comes St. Patrick's Athletic again. Shot in. Brian Murphy saves it, and the ball is cleared. Another brilliant save by Brian Murphy. It's a save after save after save.
Unbelievable. And now it's calmness personified there now, because the Pats player was offside there as well, so a chance, I suppose, for Waterford to restructure things as well. He's performed heroics in the goal, and by God, what a performance. Unbelievable.
Yeah, newspapers give rankings, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Know what Brian Murphy get? 11 out of 10.
Absolutely. Well, if there was ratings going tonight anyway, he certainly would have definitely 10 out of 10, I think. from watching it here tonight. It's an absolute pleasure to witness it, and just to witness the energy and what they're really kind of playing there. And you can see even the boys in the line there, Rennie and the boys are really kind of engaged in this. They want the boys to hang out for 3 points here tonight. This will be massive. What a start to the season it would be, and wouldn't it be a great, I suppose, confidence booster for morale going into the game next Friday.
All the publications leading up to it and social media now saying Waterford, relegation,
yeah, relegation,
finish ninth, but there could be a lot of people with humble pie on their faces.
And sometimes, Matt, to be fair, I don't think these players bought into any of that stuff.
No, they don't even read that crap, I don't think, most of the time. So, just about over 2 minutes of normal time here. Waterford still leading St Patrick's Athletic. The 1-0. Listen to the live commentary on WR thanks to Clem Jacob Hire, proud Waterford company. And the Waterford Football Club are doing Waterford proud also up here at the moment. Ball breaks in front of the Waterford defence. Kick clear by Scott Allardyce. Trying to pick out Michael O'Connor. But Michael O'Connor, no chance of getting that because 3 St Patrick's Athletic defenders. And let's hope now Michael just keeps a cool head. He got a little bit frustrated at that time, but he's on his own up there.
Yeah, he needs to be careful not to lunge out.
Just bringing the players back now, just to run down the clock. A minute and a half of normal time. The substitutes have made a big difference for St Patrick's Athletic. Chris Forrester has made a huge difference because he was the 9th.
O'Connor battling really well there, Matt.
Yeah, and James Duna looks a tidy enough player. You wonder why these guys didn't start for St Patrick's Athletic, because they look an awful lot better than the guys that they started and replaced.
Yeah, certainly adding plenty of energy.
Yeah, Robbie Benson on the centre circle there. He's still on the ball and he's trying to carve out something for St Pat's. There's the ball forward this time to Duna. Duna lays it off to Dean Clark, and Dean Clark lays it out to Duna, but again, brilliant block there.
Handball surely free out.
Wilson. Yeah, Tyke Wilson did very well there, so a free kick out to Waterford United, but Duna did very well. He gave the ball to Clark. Clark got it in, and
handball there, man, free out. I think I'm not sure which one of the.
So the 19 minutes is up, almost up.
Just to tell you as well, Matt, Dane Massey has scored up there in Dundalk. It is Dundalk 1, Derry City 0 up there in Oriel Park. So Dane Massey, after 79 minutes, Dundalk, the defending champions, lead Derry City by 1-0. So we have another goal in the league.
Dundalk again, I suppose, the team to catch for everybody, I suppose, this year, but we're not too worried about Dundalk at the moment. We're worried about Waterford here in Richmond Park. They're still leading by 1-0. Kevin O'Connor with a goal on 48 minutes and 3 world-class saves then from Brian Murphy during the course of the second half. The main talking points of the game. But brilliant performance by the new look Waterford team. Looked like a team we've been playing together, for years. Not. Well, I was going to say even weeks. First game.
First game, absolutely. Like I don't say, only in not even like pre-season games played or friendlies or any of that. Working very, very hard. What they put into it, and testament really. It's all kind of paying fruition, I suppose, on the pitch there tonight. And just while we're on that as well, Matt, a big goal as well down there in Cork City, because Shelbourne have taken the lead down there in Turner's Cross. I know we were laughing about it on the way up. So 88 on the clock.
4 minutes time added on.
Yeah, it's
a long 4 minutes. Well, the substitutes, I suppose.
Yeah. So Cork City 0, Shelbourne 1 down there in Turner's Cross.
Yeah, kind of a funny situation down there in Cork. Nobody knows what's going on at the moment down there, but Neil Fenn certainly has a hard job on his hand. It's a great start for Shelbourne, of course, who came out of the First Division champions.
Certainly.
Now, we're into stoppage time here in Richmond Park. Waterford still leading by 1-0. A long ball down the midfield there from the St Patrick's defenders, but into Brian Murphy. He just leaves a dribble into his arms. Now strolling out to the edge of the area. We know what's going to happen with this one, because Brian played some rugby for Water Park, so here it comes.
Number the big Gary Owen.
Big Gary Owen that time, and he lobs it deep into the St Patrick's Athletic half of the field, but St Patrick's win the break of the ball.
Have to be careful here, Matt.
Yeah, so
Sambone, great defending.
Bone did very well that time, because Martin Rennie looked like he was going to do something, but Bone takes him out. Rennie is still on the ball this time. Rennie whips the ball into the penalty area. Sam Bone again, headed clear. It's really backs to the wall stuff for Waterford here now at the moment, because it's backs and forwards, and St Patrick's and Eddie go in search of the equaliser, but a bad ball there by Rennie this time, and it goes out for and
again
Brian Wilson was going to run out and get the ball, and Brian Murphy said leave it, run down the clock.
Just shepherding it there, just coolness was on it by cuteness there in the goal by Murphy. And
of course Tyke Wilson is here on loan from Man City, and one of the teams that Brian Murphy played for in his career also. Manchester City. But Tyke Wilson, a little bit bit of speed. He's running after the ball, and Brian said, leave it. You know, put him down.
That'll come, but I suppose to have that, to be playing behind that and have that at you and giving you that bit of encouragement and driving you on. And what have we? Literally, maybe a minute left.
Yeah, about a minute and a half here, and Waterford still leading now, and the ball is in the right half of the field from a Waterford point of view. Michael O'Connor is on it, but he loses out that time to Ian Birmingham. Ian Birmingham plays it back to Brendan Clark. We know what he's going to do with it. He's just rolling it outside his area, way outside his area, and he blasts the ball way down into the Waterford half, but it's headed clear that time by Andre Burley. Absolutely superb. Headed clear a second time by Andre Burley.
Head tennis.
Really is backs against
Dara Power wins it back to Matt.
Dara Power did very well indeed.
And just boot it up, that's where we want it. That's where we want it.
Michael O'Connor just balloons it up to the other end of the field. Sean Grant is looking at this is going to be another famous victory here for Waterford.
Seconds away.
St. Patrick's Athletic 0. It's Waterford FC 1. The Blues
just keep that ball.
Twice last season. Are they going to do it again this season? No, they'll break it. Just break it down. St. Patrick's Athletic on the attack. James doing it. Oh, brilliant tackle. Tyke Wilson takes the ball out and doing it. But waiting for Sean Grant to blow the whistle. Tyke Wilson goes down.
Surely foul, Matt. That'll be it. That's it. That's a brilliant foul. That's a great, well won. Stevie O'Donnell furious, but that is well won back by Waterford. We're seconds away. The couple of seconds we're counting down. Billy Costine is smiling alongside us here in the box. Could this be another famous night at the Inchicore venue for Waterford FC? There's hamstrings being strong. Grant is telling the player now to get up. He's winding down the famous clock there. The hamstring. I think Tyrone Wilson. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if any have hamstrings pulled. They've worked themselves into a standstill. But this could be another famous night. I think, Matt, the 4 minutes are up, Matt.
Incredible. 4 minutes are up. We're just looking at Sean Grant now to blow that whistle. The Wexford man, of course, Sean.
He might add on.
Yeah. Is that no?
Offside. He may add on a few seconds because Wilson there was down. In fairness, he was taken out of it. I think he may allow Pats one more chance. But the 4 is up, Matt. The 94 is up.
It's up, yeah. Brendan Clark, the goalkeeper, going to launch this down into the Waterford half. Here it comes.
Still playing.
Really, really high ball. Again, Andre Burley that time again. Heads the ball clear. Comes out for a throw into St. Patrick's Athletic. Please blow the whistle. But pleading by Sean Grant, blow the whistle. Please blow the whistle. It's 1-0 to Waterford.
Certainly
this commentary brought to you by Clem Jacob Hire. Proud Waterford company. Proud display here by Waterford. It's all over Waterford.
What a result. Brilliant result for Waterford. They've beaten St. Patrick's Athletic here. It's becoming a happy hunting ground, Keane. Unbelievable. Great win.
That was an absolutely amazing display by this Waterford team. 8 players were making their debuts here for the Blues tonight. 2 of the lads had never been in Ireland up to 4 days ago, and they come out and give a performance like that. And the returning hero then, Kevin O'Connor, scores the goal. The wonderful Brian Murphy, the incredible Brian Murphy, 3 world-class saves. Absolutely incredible stuff. I'm going to take a break.
So we've got to have a chat with Billy on that there in a minute. We'll bring Billy in there with Billy Costine. Matt is going to get his breath. He's absolutely exhausted. Billy, what a result.
Oh, what a result. I mean, this is a major victory. St. Pat's are sick to the teeth, but Brian Murphy, I'd say, stole the show. Brian Murphy versus St. Pat's in the second half.
Absolutely.
And they played very well. We thought they sat back on it a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's human nature. You're winning the game, you want to hang on to what you have.
And to come up here though, Billy, again at Waterford, for them to stamp their authority on the game, Murphy in the goal, and the manner of the victory as well, the work rate, the energy they brought. You could see what it meant to Reynolds and the boys there at the final whistle.
Of course, this is the case of everybody putting their shoulder to the wheel. They played excellent, Gavin. Overall, you couldn't single out a man. It was a team effort, total team win, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Brian Murphy will have to get the plaudits.
Absolutely, Matt, you were, absolutely. It was brilliant. You can see what it meant to Reynolds. Only really made one substitution. Dara Power came on near the end, defended quite well. But the effort and the energy these players suspended tonight, absolutely second to none.
Yeah, and it's great to see. Look, all the new lads going over. Huge support there. The Waterford supporters here tonight. To see the players, I don't think anybody expected this. A couple of weeks ago we didn't even know we'd have a club, have a team. Look what's happening.
Absolutely. Getting a rapturous reception as well from the visiting supporters here in the blue and white. Of course, the Blues certainly making a great start to life in the Premier League. Of course, a well solid Premier League time now. See Dean Welsh there and the substitutes as well coming up, tapping each other in the back. Richly deserved as well, because as I say, Matt, the effort was absolutely second to none. And there is the legendary Brian Murphy. You see Paul Elliott is down there getting a shot at that. That's going to be a famous one. What a heroics in the goal tonight. Billy said it there. He stole the show, I think. Fair to say that.
Top class.
Absolutely.
Absolutely brilliant display of goalkeeping. And here's Alan Reynolds. He's out with the crowd.
There he is. He's enjoying this one. Reading and enjoying this one.
Every second of this is absolutely incredible. This has been a magical night. I don't think, in fairness, anybody really expected it would turn out like this. My God, it has turned out.
Absolutely.
It's incredible, magnificent.
You can see
the
that.
absolute joy and a pleasure to be
He's
here.
strolling off that field with the biggest smile on his face, the kind of Alan Reynolds smile. 3 points in the bag. What a start to the season. Sets it up nicely. I know that the RSC is going to be rocking next weekend for the home game against Bows. Absolutely brilliant start to the season. And as you say, you know, we were coming up here, we were saying maybe a point would be good to get another result. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's a great start. Great start.
I tell you, Adrian Flanagan is here from the Waterford.
Might bring it, yeah.
Adrian, an incredible night again.
The Ipswich Town man done it, man. The local man has done it. He's made 3 incredible world-class saves, and that's the reality of it. And that's the reason we won. He's produced a save from Rory Feely, and I don't think Inchicore has seen one like it. It's destined for the top corner. It's incredible. Robbie Benson pops up with one that's destined for the top corner. He keeps it out. He was inspired, and he was inspired by a group of players, man, that put pride in that jersey tonight for themselves. We had 3 players, what people need to realise, that signed for this club on Wednesday. 2 of them only announced this morning. Brian Murphy, the goalkeeper, and the 2 central defenders, who were absolutely sensational tonight. I just can't believe how we withstood that pressure, and we were under serious pressure in that second half. We got the look with the goal. I've just had a look back on it. Kamikaze defending we and you used to use a lot back in the day, man. And that's what I'd call that now, to be quite frank about it. But look, let's hail Brian Murphy, because that'll go down as one of the most incredible performances from a goalkeeper. It's not sensationalised, because that 3 of the saves, Matt, were quite incredible.
Unbelievable, yeah. Great words indeed, yeah.
You can read Adrian's report, of course, in the Waterford News Star on Tuesday. Sincere thanks to Gavin Whelan here for joining me, to Billy Costine, to Paul Elliott, and of course Adrian Flanagan, and the man himself back in studio, kept it all ticking over.
Mojo, yeah, absolutely. Back at base, absolutely, yeah. Kept us all in tune. Big thanks as well to Pat and Owen during the week, who got me trained up on this kind of configuration. I think the first thing I always go to grounds is make sure we're kind of on air, and Mojo got us up and running, so thanks to him as well. And brilliant night, really enjoyed it, Matt. So I'm a lucky charm now. You have to keep me on for the next time.
I said it about WR's election coverage. It's a team effort.
Absolutely.
The sports end of it, the GA, the
look, we're all the one, really, aren't we?
It's all about the lads back at base and everything. It's
absolutely,
great,
absolutely.
And the best of luck to the Waterford hurlers tomorrow
night.
And Gavin, to yourself on Wednesday.
Thanks very much, appreciate it. Up in Milton Malbay. I know it won't be easy, but if we win that, we'll have a home game the following week against Cork. So fingers crossed, we'll give it Everton up in Milton Malbay. They're a great bunch. So that's where we leave it. Matt, really enjoyed it. So we'll hand back Mojo to yourself in the commentary box. That's where we leave it in Richmond Park. Waterford FC have made a winning start to this Electricity League Premier Division. Full-time score in Inchicore. It's finished St Patrick's Athletic 0, Waterford FC 1. With that, back to you in studio.
You're listening to Friday Night Soccer, live on WLR.
Thanks to Clem Jacob Hire, a true Waterford company.
So, PJs,